Hello everyone, this is Unstoppable Streletsy again with your Week 8 Age of Empires 3 Wars of Liberty Liga matches. We will be going into Week 8 matches. As you can see here, in my view, we have about 6 encounters, just about. And hopefully they're pretty good. I don't see any sort of tiebreakers in there, so it might not necessarily be the longest stream that we've done, but we'll see. Hoping to see some MCMR versus Alucard. That should actually be a pretty good one. Chori versus Fiero. Yeah, I mean, I think we could actually get some pretty decent matchups in this week. So let's start with probably one of the stronger, more competitive ones first. Alucard versus MCMR. See what they have to offer. It's going to be good though, because they're both very competitive. I know MCMR is probably like a 1.4K in Definitive Edition ELO was. Well, what happened here?
Yeah.
What's this? What is this?
Hallo?
What happened? Lily nothing.
Bereit.
Who even won that encounter? It's not a good start. So I guess one went Austro-Hungarian. Oh, by the way,
Hello?
I guess for the next week's Austro-Hungarians are sort of going to be banned from the tournament, I guess. The organizers thought, you know, their Grenadier play is a little bit iffy to some people, so they decided, yeah, let's just ban them. It's not a good start for the recordings, but that's alright. We'll just pick up with the first one, I guess, because that was the second one anyways, so I guess it still works out. Okay, so we'll see the first match they did. Hopefully that does not happen again. Alright. So this would be their... Oh, so this is their match too. That's strange. That seems a sort of bit flipped. Should have been the other way around. Now hopefully this this is a little freaky because this is literally the same match before, but the playback did not stop. So maybe they uploaded duplicates for whatever reason. Yeah, that's really strange. I think what happened with that one was that one of the participants didn't remember to restart their game after doing the match one, and as a result one of them crashed during the recording. That happens to a lot of people, and I really stress to people doing competitive games in Wars of Liberty, make sure you close your game after every match, or else there's a chance you might freeze on the loading screen. And in particular for my computer, if that happens to me, I literally have to restart my computer altogether because for some reason the UI doesn't let me get out of the loading screen. Yeah, just make sure that you do that whenever you're playing games. Just restart the game and join back in. If you're using Radman or ESO, it's frankly not much of an issue at all because you can rejoin in like mere seconds. Simple thing to do. Not to mention it also fixes any texture replace bugs that might be occurring at that moment, so you won't have to worry about the graphic quality of the new building textures looking weird or anything. But anyways, we got Germans versus basically Germans under a different title, right? Austro-Hungarians. So, yeah, well these in theory are the old school traditional Germany that you grew up with in vanilla. These guys are basically German only in name, but they're really just British. So he's going to be getting 3 settlers. Pretty basic concept. Now Austria is going to be getting advanced trading posts. Now this is a very controversial strategy. When you're playing a game as the Austro-Hungarians, you can opt to go for 2 settler wagons, which, you know, amounts to about 4 gatherers. standard settlers, just about, or you could get advanced trading posts, since as the Austro-Hungarians is basically an essential part of surviving as a civ. Trading posts allows you to get your shipments closer to normal, since shipment times for Austro-Hungarians are deliberately nerfed because of the fact that they deliver free hussars, and depending on the politician, even free grenadiers as well. So, if you're worried about your shipments arriving too slowly and falling behind as the Austro-Hungarians, it's better to get your trading posts up sooner rather than later. And with advanced trading posts, you can usually get 2 to 3 before you even age up completely, which is quite useful in general. So, that's what we're going to be seeing from Alucard here, is probably a takeover of these 3 trading posts so that he can start pumping out his, let's look at the deck real quickly. So yeah, he has settler wagons to boom up a bit, he has really all the resource crates, he also has a grenadier shipment. Now, one thing we will be the artisan, so he will be going with 400 wood. It's the same as the quartermaster. Whereas Germany will be going for the statesman. If I recall, this is basically a coin. No, it wouldn't be a coin shipment, that'd be the burger. I think this is... We'll have to see what he gets. For some reason I don't recall what that is. So this is the Virginia Company, for those that aren't aware by the name. So basically it makes his manor houses cheaper to about 87 wood, just like in vanilla for the British, since these houses spawn a free settler when they're built. At any moment, once this arrives, we should be seeing a lot of these manor houses, in a German name I'm not going to try to pronounce, being built. And he's going to probably get close to... Yeah, see, he's building them right on top of this hunt right here, which is really smart, because he'll be able to herd that back towards the PC very easily, while Austria-Hungary is busy building trading posts. He has enough wood already for another one, so he's going to go for that whole entire trade route. Probably do the same thing myself, because, well, the more shipments you have as Austria-Hungary, the more dominant you're going to be in the early game. Because without those trading posts, your shipment arriving time is going to be really off. Actually, really off. Because of the fact that Austria-Hungary gives free hussars instead of Uhlans. The Austro-Hungarian shipment arrival time is actually even slower than that of vanilla Germany, just because of the fact that hussars have so much more hit points and can fight a lot more different units than Uhlans can. So there's a reason to that madness of making them have such slow shipments. See this here? He already has 2 free hussars from that settler wagon shipment that he sent, and he's going to be optimizing it even more by sending stagecoach, which will let him get XP even quicker, mind you. MCMR is going to be starting with line infantry, a pretty standard strategy for Germany. While his landwehr infantry here starts to slowly lose HP. I noticed doing a couple matches ago that now they're more like standard Minutemen, having that anti-siege unit multiplier instead of being anti-cav, which I think it's pretty fair to do that, since you already got the line infantry and you really don't want this taking over the role of this, so yeah, and it's also close to what Minuteman actually does. The thing I want to see though with like a Germany gameplay at Capital Age is if you could start training these with their Royal Decree technology, if you could actually hard counter Grenadier Cids like the Danish and the Peruvians a lot easier, just by having a strong anti-siege unit like this. Because even though Grenadiers might have changed statistically in what they do, they still have that siege unit tag since they throw grenades. Same thing with bombardiers. So if you're dealing with any sort of bombardier or grenadier civ, I bet these land war infantry could actually be really a hard counter to them that most civs don't actually get access to, honestly. Though it could be argued that skirmishers could work as well, since grenadiers also have the heavy infantry tag. Austria tried to go in for a bit of a hussar raid, but that didn't go so well for them. Because he's really got this giant ball of line infantry protecting him. He's also going to be going for cavalry, it looks like, as well. As you can see, the free land war cavalry right here from his stable. I mean, to be honest, if it comes down to Austro-Hungarian Grenadier and Hussar versus German Hussar and line infantry, I think the Germans are going to be more to the advantage. Especially economically, because he's definitely doing a proper manor boom here, as you can see. He's literally engulfing this entire hunt with these manor houses, which is going to give him a full hunt line of villages right there to gather from. He's definitely not going to be struggling for food anytime soon, and he hasn't even started on this hunt yet. So Marcos is doing really good with his food gathering. Quite good. And what does he have for shipments left? He could definitely go for a resource trade, he could spice trade, good, so his hunting's going to be improved by sending that. Austria's going full Hussar, aided by the free ones they get from their shipments. What is Austria going to do? Oh, he's going natives, that's quite interesting. He's taking advantage of the advanced trading post costs, and he's going to be probably adding some Cree trackers in there at some point. But for right now, he's just supplementing his economy by sending the Cree courier de Bayas to help gather. Quite smart. Quite a good choice, because they gather quicker than a standard villager, and they also have a really strong range attack as well. So it'll put him more on par with his opponent. And he also has a Huron or a Wendat shipment, native settlement here, so he'll be able to make maplets. Oh, and he's also going for the native treaties, so not only does he get... That's actually a solid shipment. He's going to get, I think, like 3 free maplets, 3 or 4 free Cree tractors, and he's going to get 2 free hussars from it. That's actually quite a substantial card for competitive play, actually. Maybe when I'm using Austro-Hungarians in non-competitive, at least for this tournament games, I might actually consider adding that, because, well, if I could get a bunch of native settlements up, that's quite a good value, because you get all the native units that you normally get that stacks up with that shipment, and you get free cavalry as part of the civ bonus. So yeah, that's gonna probably be what's gonna be the best edge that Austria can hope to give themselves against Germany. And as we can see here, they are doing a bowl of grenadiers as well. Grenadiers being one of the more common Austro-Hungarian units, and one they get a Royal Guard upgrade for very early on. Remember, Austrians get their veteran upgrades in the capital age instead of the age beyond, so yeah, he could get these upgraded with pretty good stats early on if he wanted to go to capital age. But it looks like Germany's going in for a pretty successful raid on Austria's economy. But as you can see here, the Grenadiers are going to engage. Not the best grenade throw, that's fine. I mean, you have to really think on your feet with your micro when you're using Grenadiers. It's really a unit that's solely dependent on how well you aim those grenades and how quickly you can target different units. these hussars are going to be pulling out since they've done as much damage as they can to the economy. Oh, that was a pretty... See, this is what makes grenadiers pretty scary to deal with, is really no units are immune to the consequence of their grenade throws. Even shock units like a hussar, when you're dealing with larger numbers of grenadiers, can actually die to these grenade tosses. So it's best for you if you're fighting a civ with grenadiers to make sure that you keep their numbers of them pretty low, and you also try to put your explorer or maybe a native scout in front of your army to maybe screw up their grenade toss. That's really the best thing you can do to defend against that. Also, when you're using hand units, you can also put them into cover mode, which soaks up about half the damage of the grenade throws, because it gives you about 50 plus armor and pierce armor, so that's another option. And Germany actually has access to a hand infantry. They get a Flasher, I think it's called, or something. It's basically a swordsman type unit. And with that, he could actually put those into cover mode against these and front them in front of his army. I don't think he's going to need that though, since he appears to be building pretty substantial line infantry numbers. It's anyone's guess who's going to win this, honestly. I mean, Austria is currently sending the Team Magyar attack, which, if you've played enough Age of Empires mods, basically means Grenadiers and Hussars being effective. And for this card, being a team one, it would also benefit the team's siege units and shock units. Or at least scout units, that is. So it could even help things like the Firebrand for the Africans, which is a pretty interesting interaction with that card. Okay, looks like the Austrians are going to be catching up here. Germany's going to have to retreat, it looks like. But economically, they can keep this fight going as long as they really want to. I mean, Germany is not falling behind at all by any means, and they also have some more wood to ship out as well if they need to. So, I mean, as long as these grenades don't pose a serious danger to him, as long as he can get them to waste their grenade throws, I think Germany could still push this back. And if he could get these Hussars to die sooner too, would be really... Oh, yep, ouch. Good grenade throw. I think he was able to preserve some of their charge attacks as well. So, yeah, that should benefit him greatly. I don't know. I mean, it looks like, yeah, I mean, Austria appears to be in the lead at this point, I think. Assuming he has grenade... Does he have grenade throws on, these guys? It looks like his grenade throws are spent, though, so... I think for now, Germany's pretty good shape until, yep, see, more charged grenades are going to be coming from this back row of them. And by the time he engages, he'll probably have those recharged by then, I can imagine. So, yeah, I would try to kill these now while their charged grenade throw hasn't fully come back yet. Oh yeah, see, he still has some grenade throws left over, so that could definitely give him some issues to deal with. Yeah, just retreat while you still can. Maintaining this line infantry is going to be your best asset in staying alive in the match. Once you lose these things, you're pretty much done. There's really not much else you can do, because you can't deal with the Hussars with anything else, and you definitely aren't going to be able to try to engage with these Grenadiers at all. I'm just really shocked by the numbers that Austria-Hungary was actually able to make this quickly on with their economy. Definitely something to keep in mind when you're playing as a Civ. Yeah, I think the Austrians technically are going to win this one, because I don't see him actually knocking off these members of Grenadiers at all. He can try to retreat and hit and run as best as he can, but, you know, and he also has to deal with the snare of the Hussars affecting him. Just not in good shape. You know, he just has to, yeah, good, get as many shots as he can in. I mean, you're not in good shape right now with all these. Yeah, hopefully by having a unit in the middle like that, he's gonna hopefully waste some of their grenade shots. Cause, yeah, once you get into large numbers of grenadier units, that's when things turn really sour for a player. Because, you have the time it takes to get rid of that large mass. And you know by the time it takes to combat that large mass that one or more of them is going to get their grenade throw recharged by them. They also, statistically, you know, quite actually stronger than that of, or even to that of the line infantry, with some pierce armor too. So when it comes to fighting them head-on with line infantry, they are going to be able to hold their own for a while until their grenade throws come back. Grenadier is quite a controversial unit. Some people love them, some people hate them. I wonder where you stand on this, people watching. Do you like Grenadiers? Do you not like them? Maybe you could put a comment on the vlog when that comes up about that. What do you think about these units? At the start, I thought Grenadiers were quite horrible, you know? I thought, yuck. You went from a unit with like 3x against infantry to this. Like, that's kind of a nerf. But as I've started to use them more and more, I realize, wow, these are actually pretty well-rounded units. And what they lost in their anti-infantry potential by being sort of semi-falconets, they regained against all types of units by the fact that they no longer have any sort of malice on those grenade throws, while still being fair and even to deal with by the fact that it's a recharge, it's a charged ability and not one that you can keep spamming unless you've got bombardier units like the Chileans. So, good match. It's kind of sad that we didn't get to see the second encounter at all. You know, it would have been good to see match one of that. So let's move on to the next ones. See what we can come across. I definitely liked that match though. That was a really even fight. But unfortunately I think maybe based on the performance of the Austrians in that one, that had a factor in banning them in the future maybe. Alright, so, GMP versus Starkus. This is the first in their encounter. Hopefully this one was set up properly so we can see full 2 matches and not just one. So, this is the, first match on Mendocino as expected. We got Canadians versus the Lakota. Good matchup. Should be interesting. Now the Lakota, even if you don't play Wars of Liberty, have quite a few units as you can imagine. They got the Rifle Rider, Axe Rider, the Prowlers, Bow Riders. They're great at raiding from afar, and they're also good at raiding in melee as well. So against a more defensive civ like the Canadians, this should be a pretty interesting situation to see. I think in this matchup, Canadians' best bet would be to make Spontooners and the Tropas de Marine French naval units, because they deal a lot of crush damage that can pierce the Axe Rider's armor effectively. And if they do go heavy into the Bow Rider for raiding purposes, you could also opt for militia instead of the Tropas Marine since they're a lot cheaper, and have that anti-maneuver unit multiplier as well. It all depends on what they decide to go with in the end. They're almost at their first shipment, and we can check out the decks that they're going to use. I can imagine Lakota's going to be very aggressive. And I think Canadians are probably going to be building their deck around the Marine unit, honestly. So this is the deck that they actually went with. So Fur Traders, Pioneers, Team Pioneer cards, pretty standard. Crate shipments, pretty standard. He does go for the Frontier defenses. Not a bad choice as Canadians since it favors their playstyle. Frightened Manifesto. This is a pretty interesting team card that not everybody uses. It gives all of your units a multiplier against villagers, effectively turning all allied units into partial raiding units. And he also has a Spontour shipment. This is going to be very essential when dealing with Lakota early on, in case he goes for a Axe Rider push on his hunts. Now, the Lakota in this matchup, what did they got for their deck? They got 2 Axe Rider shipments, pretty standard. He does get the Bison shipment here, probably as a backup in case he runs out of hunts at any point in combat. 3 Trading Post Traveler, quite good. Has really all the hunting upgrades he's going to need from the home city, since Lakota are basically a hunting civ when it comes to food. They're not good at farming. And he also has the Pistolero shipment as well to back up his rush. Pistoleros are pretty solid overall. I mean, they got pretty strong line infantry stats. Unfortunately, you don't see them around as much anymore since Mexico now has their own unique unit to replace them. But back in the day, as Mexico, as you remembered, they used to get a free Pistolero with every technology that they got. And I think even for a while, before the bug fixing really started, some of the religious texts from Mexico still delivered a Pistolero. So, I guess there were remnants of them for a while. The other big civ that's known for their Pistoleros would be the Ethiopians, who not only have a shipment for them in H2, but actually upgrade them by about 35%. So, for the civs that do get Pistolero shipments, they can be pretty big game changers in their respective matches. Though it's argued the Ethiopian one would be more dangerous. So, the chief for Lakota, so he's going to be getting some wood. Basically the same as a Core Master, but for the natives. While Canadians are going to be going for Louis Joseph of Montcalm, New France. So we'll be seeing Tropas de Marine. I just wish that he aged up a little bit quicker, because this is going to put him in more of a dangerous position in terms of dealing with aggression. As you can see, the Warhead is already coming up on his side of the map, as well as the shipment of Axe Riders that are going to be raiding around his hunts. So, depending on when Canadians do age up, they're going to have some problems to deal with. I'm just hoping that, we don't see Canada again completely washed out here by his aggression. Yep, oh, here comes the corral as well, so we'll definitely be seeing stable units as well. Pretty standard aggression from Lakota so far. It's been a while since I've used them in D. I do like their aggressive style, and they do have some nice cards in D that benefit War Hut-based strategies with them as well, so you don't always have to go for the Axe Rider, Bow Rider. You can go for C-10 bows or war clubs. You still do pretty good with them. Oh, so yep, he's already building his barracks here to defend. And the Spontour shipment is also arriving, so luckily Canadians got themselves in a better position to defend. Hopefully by the time the Spontours arrive, he'll be safe. He's really going to want to protect those fur traders though, since those are really the main source of his food economy early on. He did lose one though, which is kind of really bad for him. It's not a GG for him, but it definitely puts him on the back pedal in terms of food economy. These fur traders gather food very, very quickly for a hero unit. Oh, get these up here. Yeah, yep. I mean, yeah, at least he'll kill, yep, he'll get one, but he lost another fur trader that he probably could have avoided. He's gonna start his queue of troopers, the Marine now. Yeah, this is the danger of Lakota right here, just going around and distracting you and hitting you from all sides with melee cav. Definitely need control groups for that. Yeah, he's definitely, yep, yes. See how they're circling like a hawk? That's pretty scary to deal with. They're just circling around looking for the right areas to swoop in and grab one or two. That's the situation you don't want to be in against them. Get those spearmen by your foundation right there, the Redoubt Foundation, because Lakota in Wars of Liberty get extra siege damage. Yeah, I see that. Only a handful of these could actually down a Redoubt Foundation, which is pretty painful to deal with. As a result, I think they actually nerfed the siege dance at the fire pit a bit to compensate for it. But still, they overall get a larger siege damage than they do in the vanilla game. The troopers of Marine are coming out right now. Yeah, I mean, you need to find a solution to this Axe Rider dilemma, or else you're just going to get whittled down. Good, snare him, but then the other one comes. You need to watch both sides. This is how he's going to get you. He's got probably this on one control group, this one on another one, and he's just swooping around like an eagle, cutting your head off, you know? It's not good. I mean, eventually he's going to win out by the fact that you have no gatherers left. 2 fur traders and 11 pioneers at this point in the game. Come on, man, that's not good. It's really not good. Yeah, shoot that one. Nice. Go for that. Oh, he says a Traveler still here. Be funny if he could shoot that down before he gets utilized. But now his main base is completely vulnerable. He hasn't even ungarrisoned yet, because he's probably so scared of getting cut down right now. He is doing some decent siege damage though. What will be the Lakota's long-term military plan though? That's what I wonder. Because right now it seems like they're just doing the raiding right now. Yeah, he's gonna, I mean, if he's on the ball with dealing with the Axe Riders, I think he could win them in a fight, but if he's idling on the siege, that's when he needs to, yeah, nice. Get those shots in while you can. If you can shoot them down before they even reach you, that's even, oh, so he's going to be going for bow riders. I don't think they'll get out in time before it's taken down though, yeah. I mean, Canada's in a surprisingly safe position right now, considering the fact that he's destroyed his forward base and he can start attacking his trading posts. I think Canada, you know, not in the worst position right now, honestly. I mean, as long as he doesn't lose the rest of his gatherers, you know, he could come out on the stronger side of this, honestly. Yeah, nice, he got the war chief down, that's good. That means that these Axe Riders are going to lose their hit point or... Nice, yep. Oh yeah, he's going to be making some militias prized by the fact that they're cheaper right now. Which will definitely... Oh, more redoubts are coming out. Oh, good. I mean, he definitely has the Lakota in a more dangerous position right now because Lakota right now have lost a lot of their offensive ability. He doesn't even have any real military structure right now. So yeah, I think Canada's doing pretty good right now for themselves. I mean, and his villagers are also safe as well. That's the other thing, and he still has crate shipments to send. So I think Canada's technically the victor here. What do you think? I think Canada's defended successfully, and now they have them on the offensive. Yeah, I think so. I mean, what's the Warhawk going to do? You're going to get a couple C-10 bows out and tell me you're going to defend this? Come on, man. I mean, Tropas de Marine, those are skirmish units now, so they're not going to be taking any bonus damage from these bowmen at all. Yep, Canada's clearly come on top here. Very impressive gameplay too. I mean, it's not every day you see Dirkus pulling off a strong win like that. He did pretty good. You know what I mean? He really grabbed him hard in this one. Very hard. He's going to be trying to defend with these pistoleros, though. That's sort of his last hurrah effort at defending, I think. The pistoleros deal about 30 damage. About that of a veteran musketeer or line infantry, if you will. So he needs to regroup and get a bit more army, and then he could probably finish those off. How's Lakota doing? So yeah, they have enough food to age up, but they just need a bit. Well, they're gonna need to get wood as well to build a town center to reach that capital age for the rifle for all their good shipments here. If they can't get to that next age, I think Canada's in the clear victor seat at this point. Yeah, but as you'll see here, Canada's already starting to pump out some militias. And they could still send some fur traders and pioneers in. Yeah, I mean, Canada, I think, has clearly come on top here. Oh, he's going to be going for spies? Is that right? Spies? Yeah, I see a safe house coming down. It's not every day you see a civ like this utilizing spies that much. I wonder why he's going to be using those. Does he feel like he's going to... I'm wondering, does he think... I don't know, actually. Do spies actually have multipliers against outlaw units like they do with mercenaries? That could be probably why he's doing that. Is he thinks, hey, if I could get a spy into stealth, I could get some bonus damage against Yeah, is he going for spies? I mean, if they... Yeah, I don't know, actually, if the... Yeah, he's going for spies against the pistoleros. I mean, even if... Well, the cool thing about using these spies is even if they don't have multipliers, the one thing that they will do is they will snare the pistoleros, though. Because they're a melee unit. And he won't be able to shoot back at them since they... Yep, he's going to be going spies. Is he going to raid here? What is he going to do with these? I mean, they got a fair amount of hand attack, to be honest, and then all he needs to do is get them in the stealth, and he can actually raid with them as well. Oh, he's going in the stealth with these right now. I think this is the first match in the Liga where somebody's using actual spies. Not a move you see every day. This is gonna be fun to watch. What is he gonna do with these spies? Is he gonna raid with them? Is he gonna start running around the map and seeing what he? Oh, he's already sending. Oh, he's sending his hunting dogs now finally, and getting his religion. This would be the Baptist religion, right? So he's got a parish with the pastor. They're a pretty good religion since most of their technologies are free of resources. So even if you don't like religion that much, you'll be able to benefit from them very early on. Yeah, I don't know what he's doing with those spies. He seems like he's just running around the place with them. Oh, he has another town center going up right now, though. So, man, you need to go back there and start doing something. I don't know why you're hanging out here. You could definitely be dominating. Yeah, see, he's going up with the shaman, so he's going to be aging up right now. Get over here, man. Get over. You can win this. If you take too long, you're just going to throw the match, which is really embarrassing and sad for yourself. Just go for it. Just push right into this quadrant here with the spies leading the way, and then you can fall back behind. I think he's in pretty good shape, regard. Yeah, he seems to be playing it really safe, which probably because he saw the archers here. Yeah, he's playing it really safe. I don't know why he's being so cowardly in his push. Like, just run in there and do it. Just charge at him, you know? He's like hiding like a little scaredy cat of this army that's so small, you know? You run the table, man. Take advantage of it while you can. You know, it's not every game that you have such good pressure on your enemy. Yeah, go. Yeah, he's hiding. It's like, get in there. Get these units. Stop hiding. Stop. Don't be afraid. You got the advantage. Stop hiding. Because you're just gonna end up giving up the match if you hide like that from them. You know, you got the siege units. You got the rangers. You got spearmen. You got spies even that are gonna snare him and mess up his units fighting. Just do it. For the love of God, just go in there. You're embarrassing yourself. Go in there. Do it. And yep, now he's gonna have capital age because you let him do it. Now he's gonna ship in some rifle riders, and probably some axe riders and some dog soldiers, and you know, that could have been avoided. He's also going to build a fortress of warlords around him as well as he's training Wakina rifles. Yeah, I mean, he's still afraid to go in. I don't know what he's so scared of. Just go in. Go in. Now he's idling on top of it, his army. Where were the spies? Get the spies in there. That's the reason you trained them, right? Get in there. Get the spies in there, you know? Because, unfortunately, because you let them build a town center, now the spies are going to get revealed by the town center. I mean, yeah, there was a point when the town center couldn't reveal spies, and that was pretty good, but now it's just not a good situation to have these high gold cost units in your army for really no purpose. Yeah, see, now he's retreating because now he sees, oh god, he's got skirmishers, he's got bowmen. Now I can't deal with this. He literally gave him a free shot of winning the game again for no reason. And the game ends here? Why? So let's see, did these do a... I don't think the spy... No, I can't tell. Does it seem like they're getting any sort of multiplier against the outlaw units? I don't know. I mean, if he just trained that much of the gold unit to counter outlaw units and they don't even do a multiplier versus them, that is really, really sad and embarrassing for him. I mean, I honestly don't know myself if spies counter outlaws, but still, I mean, from a tactician's standpoint, I would not sit there and spend literally 1k gold to counter a 500 gold shipment. unit that he's not going to be able to train more of. That's just really, really like a drunk strategy. Well, honestly, in the brain. You don't want to do that. You're spending more resources than him to counter a unit, and turns out you don't even know if that unit even counters it. So this was a very easily won match for Canada that they just threw for God knows what reason. It was the best win that I saw from Canadians, but it's also the worst throw that you could have possibly done as Canadians too. It's like a low elo legend type of a match. Yeah, don't build spies unless you know that they counter the unit that you're fighting, and certainly make sure that your spy units do not, under any circumstances, go into a town center now, because the devs did decide town centers should be able to see stealth. It's kind of lame to let somebody take spies in stealth and try to do the sabotage ability on them and snipe them, so keep that in mind. Like, if you could get into a position like Darkness was here, where you could actually take their town center down, and you want to make spies, then they can actually do some real serious damage to his army and his economy by being really annoying raiding units that just distracts them. Otherwise, don't make spies. They're very expensive, and they really don't get too good until you get some of their upgrades later, like their handgun and their landmines and their sabotage ability. And they're also apparently good against each other with that nice knife throw ability, which you rarely ever see. Because literally, when do you ever see spies countering spies, right? I don't know if on my channel you'll ever see spies actually doing the knife throw, honestly. But it'd be nice if we could, maybe one day if I'm doing Italians or another Civ, maybe we get a chance to see a knife throw in action take place against one of the enemy spies. I don't know if they also work against caudillos or yeah, I think they would work against caudillos and mafiosos as well. So we'll see. Maybe you'll see a knife throw one day in a match. Other than that, we can get started with their match too. I mean, seeing how the last game went, I think it's anyone's guess who's going to win this one. It's really a wild card, I would say, because they both showed aptitude in certain areas to play. Yeah. I mean, GMP technically played it smarter. I would say a little with a bit more strategy in mind, but Darkness certainly showed his competence in attacking. So what's this? Zulu. So this is literally the Rorke's Drift right here. British Redcoats versus the Army of Shaka. That's going to be interesting. You know, the whole dynamic of Zulu versus British is a lot different now, since the Impy technically probably do a lot better against the Redcoats now, since they don't have that hit point benefit anymore from being close together. So yeah, I mean, I feel like in this matchup, Zulu actually has a lot more strength against the British now than they did before, because before what the British could do was, yeah, I'm just going to spam a bunch of Redcoats with higher HP to overpower your infantry armies. But now, the only thing that Zulu needs to worry about is using their club unit, since the Redcoats do possess a larger anti-cav multiplier now than standard line infantry, which is more similar to that of a Beveringer, honestly, without necessarily having the more pikeman-like characteristics associated with them. We'll have to look at the decks to see what they have and what sort of their strategies are going to be going into this. I always like seeing Zulu since they're one of my favorite Zivs to play and they're very fun to play as. Oh, so this is a pretty standard new reworked British deck, I would say. So he has all 3 of the trickle cards. Since, you know, British don't get any villager shipments, they have to rely on these trickle cards for their early economy boosts. They got the unit shipments. He has some red coats in here that he can rely on. He also has a general as well, if he wants to use it. General Sir Thomas Picton in here, which will boost his red coats. He also has this nice Highlander shipment that I always use, and the infinite rockets, so I think he's pretty well packed with good cards to deal with this. Zulu's already starting with Bargain, their library Yellow Tech 1. I don't know if they're going to go for double Yellow Tech, or is he going to go for the well-rounded 1 blue, 1 red, 1 yellow. It's really anyone's guess. I mean, technically, well, they worked it out in a way with Africans where you only need the library tech red 1 to actually send military now. Back in the old day, unfortunately, you had to get 2 library red techs to actually even send any military in. Oh, so he's going for the more balanced option of going 1 blue, 1 red, 1 yellow. Once that king's weaponry arrives, he'll get some nice youth to start pumping out his army right away, and they'll take. Yep, here we go. I wonder what he's going to make with these youth. Yep. Oh, yep. Let's see. What unit he's going to go for with these youth? I'm curious. I mean, I would probably either make Impy with them or Bowman if it was me. And what politician, by the way? So he's going for the Prince Imperial with the French. So what that basically does, similar to sort of the French marriage of the Habsburgs, is it makes the villagers a bit more expensive, but they also gather quicker, similar to how French villagers work in Age of Empires 3, you know? Quicker gathering rate, more expensive. Yeah, this would be pretty interesting. See how this works out. The thing I don't like, though, for British is that the Zulu are already on his tail. He not only has a bunch of youth ready to go, but he also has his Akanda right at his base. It's going to be pumping him out. So he's going the MP route. I would probably do the same myself. So make some MP, maybe can make some Bowman as well, with the spare wood that he has. I feel a lot of times with Zulu it's just about spamming things, even if they're not always the most optimal unit. Yeah, I have like, you know, almost 200 wood, so let's get, like, I don't know, like 4 to 5 Bowman, possibly, you know? That's the way you gotta think with this. If, let's just spam on the melee front, spam on the range front. And the more spam that I can get, the more trouble I can cause for my opponent. Zulu can be very messy like that, you know, you don't always have to make a particular unit type always to get that advantage. Sometimes you just have to generally just spam it just because you can do it. And he's going to be making some Umpakadi as well, the clubman. You'll need to be very careful against redcoats with this, because that's the one area where these redcoats are more specialized in now, is against shock units. Oh, he's shipping in Spearman. How many spear shipments does this Zulu have? Yeah, he's gone for just about the works, basically. He even has the Ewan shipping in here. Is he? Yes, yeah, he's gathering from his spice stall right now. Later on, he can use all the export from that space stall to ship in the Ewans here. It's kind of funny because Germany no longer has Ewans. You know, so technically in in theory, they should be fully fledged hussars at this point. And also, technically, that whole free shock units with Shippensing isn't even a German bonus anymore, which is kind of interesting. What would their bonus be then? That's actually a good question. Like, what would the new German card bonus be, since their bonuses are now completely reworked? Could they possibly get something like, yeah, that's actually a tricky one. Like, where do you go with coming up with reworked bonuses for some of these African allies? Now that units Civ's again severely reworked, from their original models. I guess for now you just keep what you got now as placeholders, but eventually you gotta pick up that topic. Yeah, that's just not gonna work, buddy. He's producing way too slow in this match. He's not gonna be able to do anything. Yeah, he's just not gonna produce much. Yeah. It's alright. I mean, Zulu are a very hyper-aggressive Civ, so only the most defensive and best macro players are going to be able to defend against them when they're facing that level of pressure early on. Like, if I'm dealing with, like, a new player and I just want to beat them easily, just play Zulu. I don't know what to do. You'll spam out so much so quickly, they'll just have their head on the floor wondering what's going on. Like, what's happening, man? What's happening? Why am I getting destroyed? That's really what they're gonna think, That's the way it is, Gotta stay on top of these matchups, otherwise you just get dominated. Yep, GG to them. Good matches. I mean, I didn't know how this encounter was going to go. I thought that GP was just going to steamroll Darkus, but as far as the first match is concerned, there was some real promise shown with the Canadian pressure against a city like the Lakota that I was pretty impressed with. And I will say that British now are a pretty slow Civ to use now, honestly. You know what I mean? They don't have those villager shipments anymore. They don't have the house boom anymore. So, yeah, if you're playing British, you need to be able to defend early on. Otherwise, I wouldn't go with British anymore. I'd save them for like 2v2s or something if you don't think you can get out stuff real quick with them early on. Yeah, overall, good match. Good match overall. I mean, we're happy to have as many matches as we can possibly get with this. We just got 4 more encounters to go. And I think we'll be good. So let's see what we got now, as far as matches is concerned. So let's see what we got here. We got now Troy versus Sakurfiego. Is that it? So let's see what they have to offer to the table in terms of gameplay. So we got Haiti versus Zulu, the two hyper-aggressive black Civs. That's actually something I always think about, is how do Haiti do versus Zulu? Like, they're like the most hyper-aggressive African-themed Civs in the game. You know what I mean? I think technically Haiti is the more beginner-friendly option, I think. I mean, Zulu certainly have their own fruits and benefits, but Haiti just has the better common unit roster, I think, between the Escopetero, the Machetro, the Escolta. They're just a little bit more well-rounded than the Zulu are. Now the Zulu, they're great. They're better at spamming things, right? They can spam a lot of bowmen very quickly and a lot of spearmen very really. They can actually also spam a lot of clubmen as well. I don't know if the Impacity is actually stronger than the Zing one. We'll have to see if that's something that we find out. Yeah, I just don't know. Well, the timer seems to be pushing along pretty quickly in this match, so I don't know if Zulu just rushes Haiti way too early or something. It's really anyone's guess. I know in a realistic match, like if I was playing Haiti, I would dominate the Zulu just by spamming Galega. What is going on here? He is actually shipping in extractivism. This is economic theory for the Latin Americans, so 10% better gathering. That I cannot condone, because I think 3 Civides is the way to go for your first shipment, and then from there you would send cockfighting here as your second one. If you can get it in time. If you can't get it in time, that's alright, you can send it later, but if this is my deck I was using, I would probably send the cockfighting first and then send this later on in the match and just save up for shipments. It's not the worst decision to make because it does help them gather quicker. I'll give you that. And when I was starting out in Age of Empires 3, I used to think that economic theory was a pretty wonderful card to send because, oh nice, 10% gathering on everything, I'm really going to be ahead. Turns out 3 villagers is a lot better. Unless of course if you lose them and you get raided, then yeah, the economic theory is going to be better for you, but the idea is you're not going to get raided that easily. Now we're going to see what sort of immigrant he goes with. He's going for, oh, Germany. Alright, Germany. No, I would have won with the Arabs. Yeah, I would have won with the Arabs, because Arabs counters really everything in the Zulu roster if spammed effectively. Yeah. See, in this match, Chori's going for the double blue library instead of the more balanced option. He's, going for more porting as opposed to... Oh, he's going for full unit shipments to start to Boob Zone. And then he's going to be sending his King's Weaponry to start his ability to produce military units. Yep, so well, can he get his German wagon out in time to get that immigrant settlement started? Yeah, well, that's a super hyper aggressive build from Chori though. The thing is that the blue technologies are technically the cheapest for him. The red ones are the most expensive, the yellows are the middle, and then the blue ones are the cheapest. So, if you're going for a hyper aggressive unit shipping rush, then I guess going the blue route is always good with the library. And he's going to start training some Impy out as well with some of his youth that he just gained from the Library Tech Red 1. Okay, immigrant wagons coming out, also a redoubt, which is going to aid in defense. Yep, get that thing built down. Piero is going to be starting with pickets. Why pickets? You're going to build a picket fence against Packety, maybe. I mean, I would have went with Escopetero if it was me to start with. I think Escopetero is just more of a well-rounded start for me, because it's a ranger, so it can even do technically good against shock sometimes. So. But I guess, I mean, it's not the worst thing to make. I mean, he probably was worried about getting raided by shock units. Yeah, get those pickets, picketing. Get that picket fence going. Yeah, now we're shipping the Esco Pateros. They're doing alright. I mean, they're killing the Spearman, which is good. I mean, yeah, he's doing okay. I mean, yeah, I would put my barracks in the back though if I knew that was happening, because I would have rather him just have the barracks here instead of making, because he'd already have Esco still queuing up though. Yeah, I don't know what you're doing here. You're just... Alright, so he's going to send his Serenos now. These are Minutemen Spearmen. Where did his Minutemen... Did he send his Minutemen? Where are they? Where did his Minutemen go? What happened to his Serenos? Did he cancel the shipping or something? Oh, here they are. Alright. I was wondering what happened to these things. Where did they go? Why did their lives go late? I thought that they already just screwed up. Yeah, somehow we lost. I don't know how. I mean, I think Haiti beat Zulu in the long run. You know what I mean? They just have better units, but the same level of aggro. Yeah, I guess this is the power of a Library Blue Tech shipping rush from Zulu. Good to see Zulu still have it, you know what I mean? They can still do that hyper aggro. I played as them a couple weeks ago, you know. It's always refreshing playing Zulu because of how rewarding it feels to play as them, you know what I mean? You work real hard to get your wins with them, and you have to push really hard in against your opponents. It's definitely very fruitful playing as them. And if anyone wants to learn a new fun civ, I'd learn either Egypt or Zulu, since they're one of the more stranger civs to play as. And maybe Bolivia. I don't know. Yeah, Bolivia's actually pretty strange in their gameplay as well. So, Bolivia, Zulu, and Egypt, folks, those are the fun civs to learn. And Maori as well. There's actually a lot of fun civs in this mod. You know, that's why even though D is out and that's sort of the new thing, you're better off just, I think a lot of times, just playing Wars of Liberty, because there's a lot of really special civs here you won't get anywhere else. That's good GG for him. And somebody's actually asking me for my URL to the live stream, actually, so I'm gonna send that to him. Yep, looks like we got a new fan already to the Twitch channel, which is good. You know what, I'll send him as well. I'll actually send him the link to the YouTube as well. May as well. Let me send him the link as well to that. It's always good to get new followers to the channel to keep supporting my efforts and growing it. Always try to do sort of new content, as well as keep up with the Wars of Liberty stuff, keep up with the DE stuff, Age of the World. Yeah, if anyone here really likes RTS and the Age series, subscribe onto me onto the YouTube to support my efforts in building a large Age community. I don't only do Age, I do Battlefront 2, I do Left 4 Dead 2, which I did a match of a week ago, I think. So, wide variety of content that I try to put on there. So this will be our match 2 of Fierro versus Chori. I wonder what we're going to see here for civs. Mapuche, one of Chori's favorite civs, versus Austro-Hungary. Yeah, I mean, if I have a feeling, yeah, if Austro-Hungary beats Chori here, I think this is going to add to the salt of why they were banned from the tournament. Yeah, Austro-Hungary is one of those wildcard civs. Some people think they're weak, some people think they're OP. I just don't know because I always get mixed results with them. A lot of times I play as them expecting, oh, they're going to do really well today, and turns out I get completely demolishes them, and then when I play against them in the Liga, like you'll see here, it's like, oh god, they're killing me. What's happening? I thought they were horrible. Such a confusing, such a deceptive civ, you know. Very deceptive. You think 1 second, oh, this is one of the worst civs I ever played as because their shipments are so slow. And then the next one, it's like, wow, I can't believe that happened to me. Maybe they are a little bit dangerous to deal with. Well, I guess it depends on the way you play the sim. So, Mapuche are going to be shipping in 3 villagers from their hero right here. Mapuche are the only civ to receive all their cards from their heroes and not from the home city. So they're actually the only civ in the game to survive a blockade, right? That's really like one of their strongest assets, is if you're in a team game and one of your opponents blockades your team from sending shipments. Mapuche are the only civ that can actually still send shipments after a blockade has taken place, since they don't use the home city. I don't know if that was intentional or not. If it wasn't intentional and that's a bug or something, I guess they'd have to rechange blockade to also make the Mapuche shipments cost 1 million shipments or something. But, or make their text unresearchable. But anyways, I think if that is intentional, it's probably a really nice hidden Easter egg sort of civ bonus for them that nobody thinks about, right? The other obvious advantage of having heroes that ship your cards is also the ability to send multiple cards at the same time, right? Like if you have 5 shipments available, you could technically send 1 card from each one of the heroes. Actually, you could have up to 6 shipments if you have your cavalry hero sent already, and you'd be able to send 6 cards at the same time concurrently. Not that you see that level of extreme situation all the time, but I guess if you have a large trade route and your allies sling you some XP crates somehow, that could become a real dangerous problem for your enemies to deal with. Yeah, this would be an interesting match to say the least. So Mapuche are going up with the messenger, so a quicker age up for them. Austrians are going to be aging up right now with the artisans, so 400 wood. Nice quartermaster agent. And Austria is also shipping in their settler wagons, so they're playing it a bit differently than Alucard did in his match. They're going for the 4 gatherers, as opposed to the cheaper train posts. Now, from a deck perspective, it looks actually pretty similar to the one that Alucard was running. I'm surprised nobody has the Magyarization or the Hajusi shipments in there. Those are the other 2 nice age cards for the Austro-Hungarians. So it looks like, oh nice, Chori's going for Mawadanches, which are the emergency unit of the Mapuche. Though they are by no means simple Minutemen, they don't lose HP and they're actually the strongest unit in their roster. Right, they're deal anti-hit. They're a skirmish unit at range, but they're basically a line unit in melee. You know, they do count as heavy infantry. Oh, look at this! They even have both a heavy infantry and a skirmish tag. Very, very interesting. And they also count as a native warrior. Wow, that's a lot of tags. And I think it's set up that way so that, you know, it gives your enemy more ways to kill them potentially, right? Because obviously when you have a unit with that much HP and strong stats, you need to have multiple ways of dealing with it. And also note how its ranged attack, it deals hack damage, so it's like a throwing axeman. Right? So if you're fighting skirmishers with these, they're going to deal full damage to them in most cases, unless they have like melee armor, like the voltage arrow. Yeah, that's generally, yep, that's pretty interesting interaction. Now, Austria is going to be building a mill. A mill? Why is he building a mill? It's way too early in the match to be farming, buddy. You need to be getting some meat. Lots of meat. No tomatoes for you right now, and no lettuce or whatever. You need some meat. His hunt is right about here, right where the Maladanchis are. He needs to get a settler there and start herding those in somehow. Yeah, this is a very weird, awkward situation for me, because here's the thing: even if you didn't want to compete for the elk, you could certainly go for the moves up north. Yeah, exactly. Precise. Yep. Ouch. Ouch! Look at this. What are you having edible brownies or something? Look at that. This guy's stoned out of his mind or something. Playing Farmville, and when his villagers get sniped by literally just 3 units. Yeah, it's very sad indeed. Oh yeah, these grenadiers should be able to clean this up. Yeah, they'll clean those up pretty easily though. Yeah. The wonder of grenadiers. Like grenadiers are awesome. You know, they can. They're literally a Maladanci in their own category because they can counter just about everything as well. And he's playing Farmville. I guess he still has enough resources to be training his own grenadiers. Just has to keep in mind the recharge on these ones. He's only going to have a couple of grenade throws available if he decides to push again. I think in this weird roster, I think Austria Hungary still has a way of winning because, as you know, the Mapuche with their Wakelefs and their Triangolefs have a pretty weird unit roster. They get a Spearman, and they get access to an Assault Cavalry, the Triangolef. It's a foot cavalry, but still considered assault as it deals anti-infantry multipliers and has hand armor. So it's one of the only civs to have access to an early assault infantry. He's going to be building his Rukas up. For those who don't know, Rukas aren't ordinary houses, they're also a form of native embassy, so they can also produce native units. And even villagers with the kinship ties card that the Mapuche have access to. Mapuche in general are very native friendly civ. They also get some pretty good native upgrade cards as well. So if you ever want to go with the native base civ, Mapuche are definitely one of your friends on that front. He's going to be going full spam with the Wakelef. I'm thinking he's probably going to put these into cover mode, I would assume. Because if he can do that, he can soak up about half the damage from the grenade throws and the musket shots with the armor. So yeah, and then I think he's going to put the Triangolefs sort of behind the Wakelefs. And with that, he'll be able to basically dominate him. Yeah. So I think Mapuche might actually have a chance here. Oh, so he finally got smart and decided to start eating meat. You know, no Farmville for now, buddy. Don't Farmville until you really need to. Yeah. I just found it shocking, though, that he actually went for the mill that early. Like, if I had 400 wood from a quartermaster age up, I wouldn't waste that on a mill. I would bank that up for later to build at least a tower and maybe even another barracks. Maybe get some market technologies like hunting dogs, placer mines, or steel traps, which he's getting now apparently, as we speak. Yeah, quite the interesting decision. I mean, that mill that you have there isn't going to really serve any real purpose till much later in the match, when you actually need to have agriculture. Such a weird early investment to make. I mean, I guess he's surviving though, so can't complain too much. He's just going to be mixing some line infantry in with the, Now, this is going to be interesting. Let's see what happens to these, Trengalaps. I know if you go mass line infantry, mass musketeer, Trengalaps are actually quite weak against that. Did a match this week, actually, against the Argentinians, who don't even have the best line infantry, and the conscriptos were able to completely demolish a large group of Trengalaps. Okay, so this is, yeah, I mean, yeah, see, the Trengalaps didn't do a whole lot for him, I don't think, besides maybe swarming them a bit. Yeah, I don't know, I mean, yep, and here's the 3 hussars he gets with his Austrian shipping. Oh yeah, that was this is why people say Mapuche is really weak right now, is you can put a lot of resources in the units with them and they can still somehow completely throw the match. You know what I mean? When you're putting out that much resources in food, wood, and coin to attack, you should be able to get some level of success better than that. And it doesn't matter that their unit roster works differently with assault infantry and spearmen, they should still be able to cost effectively counter things. Like, what does Mapuche do right? So yeah, he is aging up. This is my philosophy of Mapuche is your best bet now is sort of to go for more of a fast fortress, because the one unit that they do have, I think that really does well in a lot of situations, is their Traucatufes, which are their skirmisher unit. They get a lot of hit points for a skirmisher, so I would go for more of the Traucatufe strategy, and then maybe add in some Melones potentially, or the Koalalenko Lancers, which are technically a stronger assault unit than the Trengalap is. He will be getting some free ones from his war chief, from his warrior politician though, so that's good for him. Yeah, he has about 14 Trengalaps, about 4 spearmen, and yeah, here comes the queue of grenadiers coming out for the Austro-Hungarians. He's going to be pushing in real soon to attack. I mean, just because of how wonky the Mapuche roster is, I think Austria is going to win this somehow. Yeah. What do you think? I mean, I think that Austria is going to somehow pull an upset here, just because of the fact that they have grenadiers in their army and Mapuche don't. Yep, here comes the war hut going down. I don't think he can save that. Oh, look at that though, he just completely wasted his hussars. He just lost the vital asset of his. Not that he needs it, but yeah, I would have tried to save those hussars for later. So he's going for Winnetupes. These are maneuver units, or dragoons. But they do pretty insane range damage though for maneuver units. So they can actually be used against line units as well as their normal counter. Here comes the artillery pieces. These are basically closer to, I think, a mix between a falconet and an artisanal gun. From a stats perspective, they're great against infantry.
Bereit.
Yeah, I mean, I think Austria should have technically won that matchup. Is Austria gonna? Yep, they're aging up with the Chamberlain. I think the Chamberlain provides Hussars, I believe. I'm not 100% too sure. I think it's Hussars. I'd like to say Hussars. So probably closer to... Yeah, I think the Chamberlain gives you access to Hussars. He also has some Mawadanchis as well. And another benefit of the Mawadanchis is that they shadow tech. You don't have to upgrade them, you know. They upgrade themselves when you age up for free. So these have a nice whopping 37 hack damage, not pierce damage. Yeah, and then so Austria's going to be looking to defend a little bit, it looks like, from any particular pressure till they can age up in time. So Lapucci are going for the Kawel Tulinkos, these very nice assault cavalry units. They are technically the same thing as a Triangolaf, but actually statistically useful in a match. Yeah. I kind of find it interesting how they have a 1-pop assault unit and a 2-pop assault unit. It's like they got really 2 units to do the same thing, just with different stats and population distributions and costs. How's the cost? Like, it's really just, they match perfectly in terms of cost. It's like you could either buy 2 Triangolafs or one Kawel Tulinko. So the Chamberlain actually got some sort of skirmishes, I believe. So, yeah, interesting. Does Gio have any shipments available? Why is he saying this? I would have sent the Hussars in myself, just for defensive purposes. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, he does still get some free Hussars from it though, so it's not too bad. I think you could probably take out at least one of these artillery pieces. Yep, we'll get that one down. I don't know about the other one. See, I don't know why he didn't go for 9 Hussars. Because 9 Hussars, man, that's a big shipment. Why would you not send that? You'd really clean up a lot of this stuff. And it seems like the Winter Toothpaste doesn't actually get a default melee attack like other maneuver units, so you wouldn't have to exactly deal with the anti-scout multiplier either unless you strictly put them into melee. Yeah, this looks like the end of Austria Hungary. Yeah, Austria Hungary appears to be dying as we speak. Just like in actual history. So, you know, this is, I think, the only Austria Hungary game you'll see where they actually die out. Yeah, I just don't know how Fiero threw it so easily. Between the early Farmville action of the mill to questionable shipping choices. Like, I think 9 Hussars in that matchup would have made all the difference for him, you know? Would have at least gotten rid of these assault units, gotten rid of that other cannon, and then from there you just ship the other Hussars ship in, and then ship Grenadiers. Right? Oh yeah, exactly. And really anything else you ship is going to give you 3 Hussars anyways too, so go like Magyar combat for 3 Hussars. You could also put cavalry combat in your deck for 3 more Hussars and stronger Hussars. See, I think cavalry combat synergizes well in any Austria deck because it just stacks the stats of those Hussars even more than they normally are. But the thing is, you're so far behind at this point that it doesn't matter that you have Grenadiers, you're just going to die. Now, I guess the sort of the good perspective I think of this is that at least it looks more impartial if the Civ is being banned, because normally if you're a host of a tournament, you ban a Civ because you lost to the Civ, it might look a little bit biased, but it turns out that the host of the tournament actually managed to beat the Austria Hungarians, so it's like they're thinking a little bit more balance-wise, like, yeah, I was able to beat them, but maybe somebody else might not be able to beat them, so I have to consider everyone involved, not just how I was able to do, right? Yeah, but yeah, it's a controversial topic. I mean, I fall into the camp of saying that the Austro-Hungarians are not an balanced Civ, and they're actually pretty challenging to use in most situations. They really excel in very specific areas, right? I think they do good in really hyper-aggressive decks, and they do really well in fast industrial decks, because you can always do a fast industrial build where you go for their infinite one steel gun shipment. Yeah, that's right, their infinite one steel gun heavy cannon shipment, because they'll provide you 4 hussars, and with the right, I think the right politician, the chancellor, it gives you 2 free grenadiers as well. So even stronger than that of the one heavy cannon shipment that the vanilla German AI used to spam, right? Exactly. A lot better. So we're going to be moving on to the next encounter. Going to have to check to see how many more we got left. I mean, I'll be honest with you, this is probably one of the quicker streams that we're doing for the Liga. Usually you get a lot of big, long, lengthy matches. So we're about halfway through. We just have to do the other 3 and we'll be done. This is mine, by the way, so you'll see how I do here. Yeah, this was, I guess we could see them in opposite order, it's fine. Hint, there was no tiebreaker here, so I guess we could show them in reverse order. This was one where I had to deal with the Austro-Hungarians.
Aufgabe?
And I was the Haitians, so I was trying to use one of my more favorable Civs in this matchup. Because I know, yeah, if I'm playing on Hudson Bay, I've always managed to win pretty well when I go with Haitians on this map. Because it's a very wide open map and more likely chances to raid somebody really well out here. And I've even had it happen to myself against me with Alucard when I was the Canadians, right? He used to raid me pretty hard with those Machetros in this map, so if you're looking for a pretty decent Civ to use on Hudson Bay, I would definitely consider you using Haitians, since very good aggression, very good unit roster. It'll definitely get you to where you want in most cases. Alright, so let's see here well, I know what I do. I just want to see mainly what Jeff goes with here. You know what I mean? Don't want to watch too much myself because, well, I already sort of know what I did. Can go over a bit what my methodology was, though, so you sort of know what to do and what not to do, actually, since I did some good things here and I did some not so good things here, so hopefully if you run into this encounter yourself in any sort of tournament, you don't make the same mistakes I did in the Unicomp. What sort of deck is he going to be going with here? Well, at least you know it's the same sort of deck, so you don't have to be too confused about that. So he does have the Hajusi shipment, very good. Grenadiers, supper wagons, crate shipments. So this is a pretty generic, he has sheep in here though. Sheepy. I don't know about the sheep though. Why does he have sheep in here? Well, the thing is though, sheep are actually more valuable in the long term than crates of food are. The crates of food are better short term because you can gather them right away, but sheep get more valuable as time goes on if you can fatten them, right? So if you can somehow get a livestock pen, you can actually justify having sheep or any sort of herdable over food crates in the long run than that, yeah. I only know a few players that really like to use herdables a lot. When you use them, I guess they're quite beneficial to you because they gather really quickly. Even quicker than that of a hunt sometimes. So, we'll have to see how that goes. And I just noticed, yeah, he didn't even go for any age 2 Southern Wagon shipping in his deck, so he's playing more like the Portuguese do with his. Now, I shipped in the Civites myself, the Civetes, and I'm going for the Arab immigrants. I'm a big proponent of going Arab because when compared to the German heavy infantry or the Polish heavy infantry immigrants, that Haiti all has access to all 3 of those. I feel the Gallego with the Arabs is a lot better because it's got stats of a Janissary, so a lot more HP. The only area I say that the German one wins out is on range, because it has 16 range as opposed to 12 range, so it can actually go toe-to-toe with ranger units, and can catch up easier against smaller groups of skirmishers as well. Yeah, my goal here is really just to crush Jeff, wipe him out, wipe the Slate claim with them and get on to the tiebreaker match. That's what I'm thinking of here. Because unfortunately I didn't win the first match, as you'll see. It was actually pretty poor to the point that it's making me sort of rethink sort of the civs that I picked going forward. Yep, I take advantage of this trading post rickshaw that you get with the Arab immigrants. Get a nice and I also ship out some Zinglins early too, to maybe get some rating in there. It's one of the only civs to have a infinite H2 military shipment. Not villager shipment, but a military shipment. So I figured, you know, may as well have it. Never hurts to have an extra option if you're stuck in H2 for a while. Because you do have to think about the long term as much as the short term when you're playing as a civ. So I decided to push out early on with these. See, alright, what can I raid? I'm going to go Escopetero Gallego. Because I'm thinking Grenadiers, Line Infantry, that sort of stuff. That's what I would want against that. But we'll see if that actually works out in the end though. Oh yeah, but I get intercepted by the Hussars. This is where things sort of went south for me a bit. Oh, yep. See, I'm thinking now I should have just went in there and maybe wiped some of these up, maybe get a settler, because they're going to die to the Hussars anyways because of the snare. It's this melee snare that makes the Hussars deadly against a group of units like this, because now I can't escape him. Right? I only get away with like a handful of units in the end, like maybe one if I'm lucky. Oh, but I was able to get the second one away though by snaring him actually, so that, yeah, that works both ways. And as you see here, Gallegos, same HP as a Janissary, so quite tanky. He's also sending in steel traps already, so he's keeping up with his macro requirements in his build order, which is good. Not good for me, but good for him. Okay, so we're going to push. I'm going to try to ideally push as quick as I can, because, you know, I don't want him getting a big mass of Grenadiers so quickly. Yeah, yep, you gotta watch out for that because, yep, I try to shoot these a little bit. Yeah, yeah. So when does he actually start? Yeah, he's starting to tech into the Grenadiers right now and start training them. And he's shipping his Hajusi in as well.
Liga.
Which are very viable rangers available to nation states here. So your Romanians, your Bulgarians, your Serbs, your Greeks, any sort of Balkan-like civ's going to have access to Hajusi. They work a little bit stronger than regular rangers since they actually deal a lot more multiplier damage than usual at the cost of their hit points. Yeah, I'm just trying to make sure that these Hussars don't raid into me too well. You know? It's always a controversial situation when you're fighting against the civ that gets free cavalry. Because you can technically get raided at any point in the match. Just by the fact that he always has access to raiding material even if he doesn't have a stable. He's going to be looking to group up right now against me. I guess they call them Franco seconds here. But they're basically just Hajusi with the rename to them. Same unit though. Alright, so let's see how I do here. I forgot how this initial flood. See, he's sneaking up on me with the grenade throws though. This is... Yeah, let's look. See, he's sort of creeping up on me. Right here. Well, your successes are basically on how many of the Grenadiers you can actually shoot. See, this is why Jeff was so deadly. He knew exactly how to micro his Grenadiers perfectly. He knew how to fight so effectively with his attack moves that he didn't waste any grenade shots at all. And if you can play like that with Grenadiers, you're very deadly to deal with. Because those grenade throws are what gives the Grenadier, an edge over other units. Once you lose that grenade throw, then they become just like weaker line infantry without that anti-cavalry bonus worked into them. And this, by the way, is an anti-infantry multiplier, so they actually deal a little bit of extra damage against infantry in their grenade throws. Not quite as much as their multipliers used to be. They used to have multipliers about 3x against all infantry when they were bombardiers back in the day, but now that they're more of a musket-based unit, they still deal a little bit of anti-infantry in their grenade throws. I don't want to waste any time here. My goal here, get in there, mess them up, get rid of this mass. Because if I can't kill this mass, right, I'm in deep trouble. That's the way it is, you gotta make sure you deal with this mass and you get it out of here. If you can't get this mass out of here, boy, you're gonna have some serious problems. And that's exactly what happened. Yep, look at this, and then he gets me on both angles, too, so, Jeez, look at that. Yeah, this is not good for me. Not my day today, but this mess. And then he adds the Hussars in to boost to snare me down, so I can't get away. Oh, yep, this is not a good situation for me to be in. And the thing that really messed me up here is he basically struck me out of all my resources at this point in that engagement. Like, if I would have stayed back a little bit and then moved on to the next step, maybe I would have done a little bit better. I am going to keep making Gallegos no matter what, because the benefit of immigrant shipments versus unit cards is that immigrant shipments basically return experience points when they're sent, so they have a build bounty to them. you get the shipments quicker if you're doing it through your Immigrant Town Center versus your regular cards. Get another proper shot in there, hopefully. Yeah, there's just way too many Grenadiers, though. That's the problem. Like, I am seeing them down pretty good, all things considered, but just way too many of them. Yeah, just way too many Grenadiers to deal with. Quite a controversial unit to deal with, you know. I wonder what point it was in the match that I decided, you know, screw that, I'm going Machetros. You know what I mean? I better try doing shock units instead. Because the thing is, if I had shock units, at least I could go into cover mode. Yeah, this is when I make the switch to Machetro. And I decide, the only way we're going to push through this is if we start using a cover mode strategy with the Machetros. Not that it's going to do much at this point because he just has the bare numbers working on his side at this point. He's sending seed drill already, he's already shipping in more readouts. And this is the point where he starts powering up the center base. So there's really not much I can do to really attack anymore. He basically cripples me out of map control. And while he's doing that, he's going to raid with these lovely 3 Hussars that he just magically gets without yeah, he doesn't even have a stable yet, and he's able to just keep mass producing these Hussars from his cards. Yep, that's basically it for me. Well, yeah, that's a really nasty raid. I decide, you know, screw that, I'm just going to kill those things with my Civitas. Right, there's not much I can do anymore. I mean, basically spent me at this point. Make some Machetros, get them into cover mode, try to flood my army with them. It's really the best I can do in that circumstance. Brutal, brutal, brutal. Yeah, that was really just a brutal situation. Yeah, nasty, nasty. Hopefully you don't get matches like that, you know, where you just get totally dominated by the enemy ship. Yeah, see, this is why I put him into cover mode. When you put him into cover mode, he actually can tank pretty well for a while. Yeah, see how the Machetros were actually able to survive for a little bit there? That's why, as I unfortunately had to learn here, you need to do shock units against Grenadiers when possible. And if you have a civ that has hand infantry shock units, that's really good because then you can take advantage of the cover mode. It's something I also learned a bit too, playing against Angel and his Peruvians, because Peruvians are a Latin American Grenadier civ with access to Asian Peruana Grenadiers from their barracks. Yeah. So it's starting to look like the best way to deal with Grenadiers are probably skirmishers, artillery, or hand shock units. Because it's the only things that can either shoot them from afar before they reach them with the grenade throws, or the only things that can tank up their damage while they're attacking. Now that was good on my part. That was an unexpected boon because now I wasted his grenade throw, right? That's actually good, but still I don't have quite the amount of units I need to attack yet though. So, well, you can already tell from the score that I'm about dead, right? 93 versus 178. Not a good place to be in a match. Once the score starts differentiating by like 100, 200 like that, there's really not much that player can do to come back. Because your opponent is always going to have more resources than you, and Yes, he's even going up with the gunsmith, which is going to give him some nice free skirmishers to make things even more painful for me to deal with. You know, that's not going to be good for me. And I think that's going to be the nail in the coffin to my offense, right? Yeah, see, now I go into the cover mode. Yep, now I go for the cover mode, right? Yeah. Yeah, once you get that many towers up on the map and skirmishers and stuff, then it becomes very dicey. Not a lot you can do, honestly. I mean, I do manage to kill the veteran skirmishers, which is nice. And I do get to make a bit of a press on the grenadiers a bit. Yeah, but then you get the free affairs coming in, yeah. D-mode. He's also starting to trip Brabanten as well. With the Brabanten being Doppelsolners, basically. Vanilla Doppelsolners just holding a polearm instead of a saber. Instead of the Zweihander saber. There goes that one. Now you can see the Mendocino match, so moving in reverse order with that one. So, yep, let's see Mendocino. That one was like a game changer for me in terms of picking civs, I think. You know, I think I'm gonna take one of my old civs and put it in retirement, basically, after seeing how that one went. Oh yeah, the reason why they're out of order, I think, is because I'm not the one that did them. I think Jeff's the one that submitted them to the organizer. That's why they're a bit mixed up. So here we go. We got Paraguay versus Germany. Very industrial civs. Lots and lots of factories on both sides of the aisle. Now the question is what sorts of factories are we going to see in use? Now, this was a very, 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 very controversial match because this isn't the original version of this match. There was an earlier version of it played that had severe lag to it that impacted gameplay. So we actually ended up redoing the match altogether to see if, you know, the results could look any better in it, basically. And it turns out it was a little bit better, right? So I do end up adopting a bit of a different strategy here, just to experiment. After trying this map the first time, I figured, well, I really don't think if it's Paraguay versus Germany, you can ever really win in that matchup, now that I think of it. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to try to reimagine the way that I use Paraguay to see if they have any favorability at all against Germany, because Germany as a civilization now with the rework is totally dominant against the entire principle of the Paraguayans. Right? What is Paraguay known for? They're known for spamming free, cheap trash units, right? That's what the Paraguayans are going to do best, is just spamming free, crappy trash units. What can Germany do? They can spam better units at the same rate just by using their manor boom strategy. And yes, I can definitely try to keep up with these food works shipment cards I have here for the food work, the woodwork, and the coin work. But even then, you know, the house boom of Germany is just so deadly to deal with that their level of spamming is going to be a lot more dangerous than anything I can produce. So I decide to play it a bit differently here and decide, you know, let's try to go for what I would consider a Paraguayan fast capital age, fast fortress. Yeah, basically, the way I managed to do that is using the Croat immigrants and the wood they provide to enable me to go for an easier, fast capital age. Let's check out the Germany deck as well. Like he has, this is basically Virginia Company. What's this? This is Leipzig Corn Mills. So basically like advanced mills and advanced plantations. It's really just advanced plantation, except it gives you an agricultural wagon as well that you can use either for a plantation or for a mill. So it gives you a bit of an option there. And in terms of like later shipments, he has the Royal Decree and he has Bismarck model. So Jeff definitely is aware of how you can access the emergency units more permanently in your roster. He has his line infantry, Hussar, Ewans, Club Factory. So he has the works really for a Germany deck. He's done pretty good with that. Whereas me, I'm going to be aging up with the Croats and trying to attempt a fast fortress. I do ship into Coinworks here to get my coin level up a bit more. Because what I'm thinking is, if I'm going to have any chance against Germany, right, in hindsight of what I saw before doing with the lag, right, what the lag situation is, well, I'm going to make some rockets, right? We're going to ship some rockets in, some cohetes, and we're going to try to whittle down his line infantry and his cuirassiers, right? Because what I find out before is that he likes making cuirassiers with his Germans, assault cavalry, right? So what do we have against that? We have units, basically. Yeah, I'm gonna make a barracks here, get some free Primero de Líneas, and keep up the Coiguas as well. Get some, well, I'm not quite there yet though, because I'm clearly gonna need at least a coin shipment if I even hope to get to the capital age in time. Whereas the Germans are starting to make their massive line infantry right now, hopefully to do some pressure to me. Yep, these are the line infantry, and yeah, he actually played it predictably the same in both attempts at this map. The first one he did really the same thing. Yeah, I'm gonna pop out some line infantry and cause some mayhem. It's the same thing here, so pretty predictable in that sense. Only here I think I was able to build a bit of a bigger army this time to compete with them. But still though, Germany definitely is the dominant civ in this matchup. They just do the principle of Paraguay, but do it a lot better by having free settlers from their houses and from free artillery, right? The thing you gotta keep in mind is that Paraguay used to have 2 ironworks available, but with the reimagining and rework of how Latin America works, they only get 1 ironworks now, so only 1 cohete at a time. Whereas before it used to be 2 cohetes at a time. So a lot slower now. Whereas Germany, by industrial age, and can have up to 3 Krupp factories, and by imperial up to 4 Krupp factories. And they can produce really whatever they'd like. They can make falconets, or what they call foot artillery now. They can make culverins, mortars, horse artillery. They can even make steel guns with this card right here, the Essen Stahlwerk. You know, with the Essen Stahlwerk, they can actually produce heavy artillery in Age 3. I think obviously nerfed down a bit to avoid the guard upgrade that they normally have, but still, it's heavy artillery nonetheless. That can do a lot of damage. What do I have right now? It looks like I got my food works, about 3 and 1 coin works so far. I'm going to ship another coin works to stay on the safest. Yeah, I'm going to ship a coin works. Right now I'm not really in much of a defendable position, so if I hope to survive, I'm really going to have to depend on my Voiders for defense. The Primo Deline's doing some pretty good splash. But not quite enough to get rid of all of them. I like how he puts them in this sort of defensive mode to group them all up together. Kind of an interesting formation strategy. I'm used to either seeing standard mode, melee mode, or stagger mode with these sort of range units. I really never see anyone go defensive like that and form a square phalanx like that. It's interesting though. I mean, I bet it has its perks though, going that way. I go up with the first French wave for my second age up so I can get some nice XP crates that I'm gonna need. Right? Remember, if you don't pick an immigrant for a certain age, the age up bonus to the next age is gonna be permeable of the age up that you missed, right? Like if I actually did get French immigrants for age 2, then my age 3 benefit would be French workers as opposed to XP crates, but since I skipped out on French initially, I'm just going to get a group of XP crates instead of the workers. Just something to keep in mind when you're playing Land Americans with the new immigration system. It's definitely one of the most intelligent concepts we ever made for the Land Americans, honestly, was the immigrant system. It makes them a much more synergetic civ, a much more synergetic culture in the way that they function between their special units and their immigrants. Yep, I'm gonna plop down my French immigrants here. What I end up trying to do in this match is put heavier emphasis on the Foreign Legion Cavalry, which is one of the stronger immigrant units you can get with the Latin American civ. See, the Foreign Legionnaire Cavalry are the consulate equivalent of Texas Rangers, which if you've played the United States before and went with the Confederacy, is that Texas Rangers swap out their anti-artillery multiplier for an anti-heavy infantry multiplier, making them really one of the better spammable units against this German build, basically, because it can counter both assault and heavy units at range, and it can even counter scout units in melee. I also try to make a couple Pardos to deal with some of my floating food here, and to give me a bit of a better defense against any sort of shock units that he's going to be making. I also already got my Ironworks in production as well. Or now it's called Heavy Works. Basically just produces rockets for me for free. It's still called Ironworks in the UI, in the icon. Interesting. One of the classic civs that I've always liked to use is the Paraguayans, because, you know, I won my first competitive tournament match with the Paraguayans, so it's definitely one of the civs I gained a lot of interest with early on in competitive AoE 3 Wars of Liberty. Now, these are the Legionnaires. Look at these nice stats. 39 times 2 against heavy and assault. Not to mention this really nice hand attack. Quite good, actually. Quite good. You definitely want to use these against any sort of line infantry spamming civs. And they can also do well against cuirassiers as well, like you'll see here. He doesn't have any yet though, he's probably hasn't queued up. Yep, his cuirassier is training right now. He is shipping the Essence Stalwart to get a nice free Krupp factory. He's also researching into Judaism as well, which will definitely help him economically. Oh yeah, by the way, speaking of religion, do you know that religion is going to be removed from the Wars of Liberty mod altogether? Quite an interesting find, you know. Initially what it seemed like was that they were going to try to nerf the praying technologies a bit, right? So they didn't affect gather rate anymore, which happened in this patch. But turns out religion is going away altogether, you know. You're not going to be able to tech into religions anymore when the World War I patch comes out. Religion's just going away altogether. Whereas Libby's going atheist. Yeah, going secular. I mean, there'll still be, I think, religious civ bonuses and stuff and religious functionalities for certain civs, but you're not going to see religion as a default feature anymore, which for a lot of civs doesn't matter too much, since religion for a lot of civs is pretty poor. But for some civs, like ones that get Judaism or ones that get Voodoo or Candomblé, they'll feel a little bit of pain from that because their religious texts were pretty decent. Also, apparently nation-state civs, since Orthodoxy works really well in their upgrading system, especially Romania. Yeah, that's a lot of assault cavalry he has there. Lucky thing that I'm popping out foreign legionnaires as we speak. Do I add any units in yet as well? It's something I do later on. I start making units as well, just to put up a proper defense against these assault cavalry. We've got a nice little mouse here. Yep, gonna try to push on to their flank right here. Yeah, so I'm gonna try to push now because, well, what can you do at this point? You're just gonna let them. You gotta fight at some point, right? I mean, the thing with Germany is they're just gonna keep getting ahead of you unless you do something. How's his build limit? Has he reached to, like, the limits of his manor? Yes, he has. So that's like 20 extra settlers in his possession right now. 20 extra settlers. That's a lot. That's a whole lot. I'm gonna try to attack right now and see what I can do against my opponent here. We'll see though. I mean, see what I can do. Nice. Rocket's doing well. Nice new rocket animation. Oh, here comes the free foot artillery, so these free salves are going to be a real problem for me. But luckily the Cathutes are built in such a way that they're actually good at countering artillery themselves. I try to put my legionnaires into targeting mode to hit these assault units. But turns out if you spam enough assault units, it really doesn't matter what you're producing, because they'll just dominate anyway. Right? Yeah. That's a lot of cuirassiers. Even these maneuver units can't even really go with them effectively. Yeah, see, yeah, this is where And then he ships the Uhlans as well, which are also an additional annoyance because they're a scout unit with high attack, which really messes up my entire maneuver unit strategy altogether. Yeah, good play from Germany though. Germany's a fun civ to play as. You definitely can't use Paraguay against Germany, but you can use Haiti actually. I did it with DeLeon in one of the earlier weeks. If you watch that stream and that encounter that I did, basically Haiti can actually pressure Germany enough early on that they can actually justifiably win against them. So if you're looking for aggressive land civ to use against Germany, consider going the Haiti way. Yeah, as you can see here, it's kind of a bloodbath here in terms of defending. I had my units in as well as a secondary maneuver unit with my resources as well. Yeah, but really at this point in the match, you're on the back burner. Like I said, if you're like 150 points behind, that's kind of means you're basically dead and there's not much you can do to defend anymore. You can try to hold out, you can try to lengthen the match a bit for fun's sake to make it a bit better. But other than that, you're basically getting eaten alive and basically digested from the inside out. Completely swallowed and devoured. And he's going to try to... Jeff is going to try to curve up around here and get my works and my barracks right here. Because yeah, this is my economy. This is the area that I'm going to be most vulnerable in. And he's so confident in his trade route that he can actually get stagecoach now on one of his trade routes, right? This one. See, Mendocino has two separate trade routes. So to get a full stagecoach going, you would actually have to research stagecoach on both of these trade routes, not just one of them. Pretty interesting. Oh yeah, look at this. Jesus, look at that. Completely destroyed. It was nice seeing the Corsair get knocked off his horse though by that rocket. Yeah, these new ones are always a wild card though. Because they're scout units, they don't exactly go down as quickly. The only thing in my benefit is the fact that new ones just naturally have low HP to begin with. And notice how they have loyal in the upgrade name. This is because new ones will likely go to the Polish. And from what I heard the other day, there's a possibility that new ones could actually be a cross-culture unit. Potentially some European civs having them, some nation-state civs having access to them. Should be pretty interesting to see. Now, for those that don't know, the nation-state unit, the Marauder, that cavalry is actually a new one in disguise. Right? It uses a saber instead of a lance, but it's the same concept. It's low HP, high attack. So if you want to pick up Greeks or Serbs, just note that they use Uhlans for their hand cavalry and not Hussar equivalent. Bulgarians and Romanians have their own sort of quirky, unique hand cavalry scout options, so you'll have to learn those as well. Yeah, I think, I mean, I'll look at the resources of Jeff. I mean, look, he's already going up to industrial age with the Socialite. Socialite will give you, I think, 800 or 900 coin. Is it? So yeah, it's basically close to the Tycoon, but a little bit nerfed down. He could have also won with the Kaiser as well, with Wilhelm as a politician. Wilhelm will basically give you Royal Guard Corsairs, the Garde du Corps. If I was like going with, since You know, they're a bit stronger than the normal assault cavalry. And especially in this unit comp where he's just spamming cuirassiers. I'm surprised you didn't go with the Kaiser Wilhelm just to get those guard de corps guard decals on his units. I mean, he has enough resources to just spam away anyway. So, I mean, he's already done the work to win. It's already done the work, really. It's paying off for him. Yeah, I just try to hold on for dear life at this point. You know what I mean? There's not a lot you can do anymore. I mean, yeah, you can try to one-shot these assault units as they come in, but as far as taking down the Falks, though, that's not happening anymore. You need to have to get real lucky with your Kahit shots to even hope to take down those artillery units, and I'm completely starved as well. All I have left are these works I built in the back. Right, nothing else is working in my favor at this point. And now that I think about it, I think they really do need the third staple. They really do need to build that spam, right? Yeah, I think without that spam, they just sort of fall apart. No like going for you anymore. I'm gonna try to avoid Paraguay in the future, I think, when there's encounters, because, you know, sometimes they work miracles like they did against the Mapuche, but in real world, high power MVP SIDs like this, just don't perform well. You know, they just don't do the job you need them to do anymore, and it's time to move on to, say, Haiti or Zulu or Bulgaria or something, you know? Something a little bit spicier. Definitely need to rethink the way that we do these, I do my strategies. So, I think we got about 2 encounters left. Sebas Lume, I believe, and another one too. So these are Fufi versus Delian, and then we have Sebas Lume versus Ivan GS. I'm surprised we don't have Eternity on here, you know. Would have loved to see Eternity play. Could have been an interesting one. But maybe we didn't have enough people or something. I don't know. Alright, so we got the Fufi with the Dutch. He's a pretty good Dutch player, by the way. He knows the build order pretty well. And we get the Belgians. A very popular map for them. I mean, Belgians are really good on any map as long as you have native sites and trade sockets. If you want to play Belgians on, say, Finland, that would be a very bad idea because, well, they can't take advantage of the main bonus of having these frontier wagons with every age up to build either A, trading posts on the trade route to get my XP up, or B, on a native site that I can use with my native embassy that I can build right from the beginning. Oh yeah, exactly. I mean, we could. Yeah, he only has his deck open too, so he's probably going to be going with Cooperativism. Then he's going to go for the 700 wood, and then the bank wagon, pretty basic Dutch. Whereas Delian, what does Delian have? So he has a wide variety of options. Yeah, he has quite a few strategies for Dutch to rely on. He's going for me Faraha. So, villagers, crates, some unit shipments. This is a pretty middle of the road Belgian deck, I would say. Like, It's not as extreme as some of the ones I do, right? You've seen some of the ones I did this week. You know what I mean? I went for a fast imperial strategy, and then I went for a fast sort of industrial into Madmula Mahariste strategy as well. There's quite a few ways of using them. But, yeah, in general, you probably want to try to scout out your opponent as Belgians and figure out quite what they're doing. The fast industrial strategy is definitely powerful for the Belgians because of their intake of XP. But if you can't do it, you can't do it. You know, you see me play against Frantic Fred when he was Swedish on the large map, and if you get an opponent that can actually defend themselves quite well, fast industrial isn't always your friend. Oh, it looks like Drian's got enough XP from his trading post to get distributivism. Get a nice wood trickle. In terms of skill, I don't know how these two compare to each other. I mean, I think they're technically on similar ground in terms of like ELO or skill. It'd be interesting to see which one comes on top here. And I'm just looking at the clock right now. This is actually pretty quick for a live stream, I would say, you know. You know, in the past we've had like 8-hour live streams of Wars of Liberty before covering these tournament matches, but this one's gonna come out to probably like 3 hours tops, I would say. Maybe 3.5, possibly 4. Definitely a lot shorter. It's good and bad. I mean, the good news is that when I do my uploading of the vlogs in the morning tomorrow, you'll definitely be seeing this. You won't have to wait. When you have one that's like 8 hours long, you possibly have to wait 2 days for it to be completely ready to view and rendered properly. But this time you'll be able to see the VOD like pretty much right away. He's going for the burger. This is for coin crates. And Dutch is also going for the burger, so coin crates for them as well. Everybody likes coin today. Everybody wants money, dinero, moolah, whatever you want to call it.
Okay.
Now, I don't know if, like, how is Delian going to do this? Is he going to go FF or is he going to stick it out in H2? Now, Delian, he could do a wide variety of things with this frontier. I would first, for economic reasons, I would just go for this trade socket right here. Just so I could get the XP. And later on I could also justify getting stagecoach as well.
Commander?
Does anyone use the special sabotage ability of the Belgian trade routes? They have this little rope option that lets you reduce the gather rate of your enemies on the map every time the shipment receives into the trading post. Does anybody actually do that? Does anyone know if it's actually effective or not? I don't know. You tell me. Maybe I should start using that instead of the XP. But if it's too weak, it's too weak. See, in the old days, the Belgians actually reduced gather rate of enemies by about 5% for every trading post that they had. Right? So, playing against the Belgians could really poison somebody's economy very easily. If it's a team game, then you're poisoning like 4 people's economies at once. And if you're doing FFA, then you're poisoning 7 people's, you know, gets a lot of value, but now, I just don't know if it's worth doing now because you basically forego your XP, you forego your resources, benefits of having the trade route just to get it. It's like you have to choose. It's no longer comes for free anymore.
Commando?
So he has rangers and he has volunteers now in the Zappazaps. Now the Zappazaps, you would think of them initially as more of like a spy-like unit since they counter mercenaries and natives, but they're also a raiding unit that has anti-villager multipliers. I do like his raiding though. I mean, I definitely respect his willingness to go in for a raid. That's definitely something I'm looking forward to seeing. Because, well, I know I can't burn these banks down just yet. He can go for a Niam-Niams like he is now and just try to take these banks down one by one. That's definitely a strategy against Dutch. But in the meantime, you need to think of, alright, how am I going to keep his villagers off of resources? Because, basically, what do you need to build skirmishers for partisans, pikemen? You need food, right? You need coin. If I can keep them off of food and just keep them on coin from these banks. Oh, see, these are the Adorntons. These are a native unit that he shipped from the home city. They're basically very trashy line units. Very trashy. But they arrive in wide, very big numbers. Think of them as like Russian musketeers, basically. Well, to the extreme. They're actually more similar to the Danish land soldat, because that's more of an extreme version of the Russian musketeer. See, the thing I think that the Dutch has is, actually they got quite a bit of food right now. Like, if he can keep that barrack safe, he will be able to defend, I think. Yeah, and he's going to try pushing a bit forward with these Adorntons as well. Yep.
Okay.
I mean, I think he's going to go for the Niam-Niams just for the siege aspect, because, well, the biggest, most painful thing you can do to a Dutch opponent is take out a bank. It costs about 350 food and about 350 wood. Once you lose one, it's hard to get one back. But that being said, you need to deal with skirmishers, you need to deal with hussars, you have to deal with these skirmishers especially. And these skirmishers, you know, that's 30 multiplier in this age against those units. So that's definitely something you need to keep in mind. You need to be fully aware of these skirmishers and make sure you don't fall to them. Just looking at the resources right now, I mean, yeah, I would assume Fufi has the greater amount of resources. Another thing you could consider doing is actually building a tavern or a tea house and get some outlaws. Oh, he doesn't have dance halls. You know, it's pretty common for a Dutch player to go dance halls because, well, they got the coin to spare for those outlaws, and they can send the Ronin Samurai later as well, which is the favorite of Dutch players. Yeah, I mean, kind of a throw, honestly. I don't know why you went for that skirmish, honestly, if you weren't going full in. Because he just decided halfway through, oh, I'm getting shot, let me run. No, you're already in there, just try to get a couple kills. Better yet, don't even get in that fight to begin with. You know what I mean? You don't want to get into that fight. Exactly, I mean, exactly. Get into a fight that you know you can't win. To win any argument, really. You need to assess the unit stats, you need to assess the counters, the rock, paper, scissors sort of principle, you know. Don't get yourself into skirmishes, you know, that are going to be flexible and iffy for you. Now, what I find shocking is that Goofy didn't try to move some of his native Adontans towards the skirmishers to defend them. Because it does seem like he's losing way too many skirmishes than he normally should have to. Yeah, that's the thing. He could have gone at least a little bit of protection for these skirmishers, but again, with that many resources over your opponent, you really don't have to care about micro anymore because your macro is just so much better in that matchup. Yeah, I mean, what's the league? What can he do with this play? He can only try to keep down those partisans and then move on to the skirmishers again. It's really his best shot. Otherwise, I don't know what you can do in that situation, honestly. You know what I mean? That's about it, really. Yep, he's gonna try shipping some coins. Yeah, but that's not gonna do anything though, honestly. Yeah, he's doing up some line infantry. No, I think that's just one based on macro alone and resources. You know, and he could technically tap in outlaws at any point that he wants to, or even early mercenaries. There actually are a few aids to mercenaries available now in North Liberty. Handful of them, not a lot of them, but there are some that you can actually get. And if you wanted to try the spicy option of checking out his tavern to see what he has, you could. Yeah, it looks like he's actually going to move more into grenadiers. Remember, Dutch do get grenadiers, so that is an alternative they have now to the normal skirmisher or flanker options, which the Dutch are usually known for. Right, so he's going to be pushing in with his grenadiers now towards his stable. Yeah, I think Belgians are basically defeated at this point. I mean, you can retreat with this as far as now, and hopefully have barracks built when he gets home. But yeah, I don't even think he can even take on these skirmishers right now. Yeah, just shoot him. I mean, who cares? You got the resources, buddy. You may as well just go full steam ahead. GG on that one. Good match. Okay, so let's see the second match that they can put together. Let's see if, you know, Delian makes a comeback or not. Well, let's see what matches we got. Saves we got for this matchup. Alright. Let's see here. So we got the Australians versus the Serbs. So we got the Remove Kebabbers versus the Kangaroo Serbs. Nice. Should be an interesting one, actually. I mean, we'll probably be seeing some Hajusi versus Boomerang play here, I would expect. You know, the war of the skirmish units. The special skirmish units, that is. With Hajusi having a lot of extra multipliers that, you know, skirmish and early sort of the regular style infantry that normally doesn't have. Whereas the Australians just have boomerang throwers, right? So they deal hack damage. And no malices, by the way, so they can actually target down scout units if they're in large numbers. Well, it's a very special unit. It's super cheap and super spammable. Or he could also opt to go for the Bush Ranger with the Colonial faction. A pretty okay outlaw line infantry. It's basically a pistolero. Now, bush rangers used to be really brutal to deal with. You know, they used to be really good against all infantry. But they've been rebalanced a bit to be a lot weaker. Which, you know, I guess it's alright, but it definitely pushes us more in the direction of boomerang throwers, I think, in the end of the day. Australia's going to be shipping in some fur traders as their first shipment. How's the deck, by the way? So, we really can't tell if he's going to go for... Yeah, I can't really tell if he's going to go for the colonial faction or the aboriginal faction, because now he doesn't have either the colonial combat or the native combat on here. So, that's going to be interesting to see which one he goes with. No, I think they should have like a couple of cards that benefits the colonials as well, and it's not totally pushed towards the aboriginals. That's just me. Let's see what DeLeon has in mind. He shipped in some peasants. What did he build as a starting building? He built the... Oh, he actually hasn't even used his landowner's investment yet, this wagon. This is a starting wagon that the nation state says, like, you know, the Greeks, the Bulgarians, the Serbians, the Romanians get access to lets them build any building that they want in the age that they start in. You can build a barracks, you can build a stable, an artillery foundry, a hunting lodge, a market, and as the Greeks you can build a dock with it. And what's important about why you're allowed to do that is because, well, as you know, you age up with buildings as the nation state says. You don't actually use the town center, right? If he's actually researching into Alexa Nenadovic right here to get some nice Hajusi from his barracks. And believe it or not, I always go with this option as well, the Nenadovic one, because I like having the 3-star Hajusi to get my army started. Serbia doesn't get a lot of traditional sort of politician benefits, so they don't get a lot of the traditional crate benefits that you used to, like 400 wood or 500 food. There's a little bit special. I'll put it that way, special. And to me, the Hajusi one just makes more sense, honestly. Now, he could have went for a stable as well and gone, I think, of like 100 coin, maybe 200 coin, and a free marauder. So you can definitely go stables as Serbia as well. Stable strategies are definitely viable. Now, I think their infantry is their stronger suit since it benefits them more tech tree-wise to go infantry. But they do get access to the honor guard and the marauder, which are just really good shock units for a Civ to have anyways. The Greeks, on the other hand, are more stable focused, I think, because they actually get a combat card that benefits the marauders and the honor guards. Yeah, exactly. Here's this Hajusi right here, ready to go. How's the deck looking? I mean, deck-wise, he did bring an anti-ship deck, which I think is actually pretty smart against Australia, because most people don't talk about it as much, but Australians are actually a strong water civ, and if Fufi decided to, he could actually go full fish boom on with a civ like the Australians. You get some really, really good fish gathering cards. Really good ones with a lot of value to them. Now, based on Fufi's deck, he actually brought a fish booming deck with him. He has rendering plant, Brevarina fish traps, he has coral sea, whale oil, fish market. He really brought all the essential cards for a fish boom deck. Yet he hasn't built his first dock yet. You know what? Why? Why haven't you built your first... Oh, this is a good idea. This is another good idea as Australia. You build a barn. With the barn being basically, yeah, just a livestock pen. Because keep in mind, Australia gets a free sheep for every convict laborer that they produce. Wait a second, he actually went colonial, so we're going to see some bush rangers. Very nice. You know, I wonder if he can win with these. You know, the thing about bush rangers is that they're very expensive since they represent sort of outlaw units. Right? The Australians' native faction represents like actual native units. Right, so like food and wood units. Whereas the Australians' colonial faction focuses more on outlaw style units like these. So you see their set food and coin and even their population cost is higher than that of a normal unit, right? Now what I think they should have done with the Bush Ranger is that they should have given him the same stats as a pistolero. Right, so he'd really just be a pistolero with the rifle basically. So that way you know that you're not skimping on the stats with them at all. And actually I could have even justified giving him even slightly higher stats than a pistolero just because you have the food cost and the coin cost, so maybe 130, about 32 on the attack. You know, that's up to the team to decide of how they want to represent the Civ. I would have given them a little bit more attack myself with a little more HP so they could simply do a pistolero. And the run's Corpsman, as you can imagine, is based on the Renegado. That's a lot of juicy though. Wow, nice. He also has the Scytheman with them too, to do something for a light cavalry and also just the siege as well. And as you'll see here, the Juicy actually gain damage when you kill the nearby units. Yep, see how it just bumped up to 18 from 17? Yeah, but... Oh, look at that. Interesting. If only dogs could speak English. Every moment I live is agony. Why did they try to make it like a woof woof, bark bark, bow bow on there or something? You know what I mean? Yeah, that would have been cool, bow bow on there instead of agony. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, technically, I think the land is in pretty good shape right now. He has the pressure. He's certainly got the... Yet, he also has my lovely Infinite 4 peasant shipment as well, so he can keep up economically with his opponent. Yeah, don't let him take down the map. Yeah. See, the national stats will go down on its own eventually, but if you let your enemy siege it, they get XP from that. So it behooves you to defend it if possible. And it also boosts the attack rate of your units, so the rate of fire goes up really well. Let's see what he has for his See now the Australians are starting up with the fish booming. Yeah, now Australia's gonna start doing the fish booming at this point in the match. Is he going double fishing ship? I saw he went double dock there. Yeah, good. So yeah, get that double fishing ship going with Australia and you're definitely in good shape. Yeah, so I'm going to be shipping in some mule artillery, which were a very cheap and early form of artillery that actually it counts as a trash unit and only costs food and wood. It's also going to be making Marauders, one of my favorite nation-state units to use. It's a mule one. There's quite a bit of damage, but they are lower on the side of HP then. So unless you think you can separate his skirmish units easier, so his militias, be careful if you're marauders. They'll fall quickly if used improperly, but if they don't fall, then they wreak some real havoc into the stats of the army. Yeah, exactly.
Commander?
So yeah, it looks like his marauders are coming in. Maybe combine them with this main army. Yeah, see, Foofy, now that he's going into the fish boom, is he gonna keep up with the fish boom, or is he gonna... yeah, you know, he's gonna keep up with the fish boom. You're gonna notice his score's gonna go astronomically higher. Right? And how many whales do we have here, by the way? 1, 2... 3, 4. So like 4 sort of, yep. So 4 whales. So that means you can literally get like 16 fishing ships max, I would say, to be most optimal. You don't have to delete any. Serbs going in for some pressure here. Get those, get the Marauders in right for, yep. Yeah. Oh, nice. Yeah, those Marauders are going to see some nice action. Good. Good. Got a lot of hits in them, which is nice. Yeah. Now, didn't win the fight, but you did get good value for those Marauders. It's always what you want to see. Is he training Scytheman still, or is he, he's actually pretty far behind in his horses right now. I don't know what to do with this then. I mean, I would go up to the capital age at this point because, well, you could take advantage of that real nifty border patrolman shipment to start spamming that. And then you could also make your own border patrolman, you can make honor guards. You know what I mean? You can see honor guards in this case would be a pretty good unit because they deal with the heavy infantry pretty well, and they deal with the skirmishers really well. So yeah, that's definitely something worth considering. He could also consider getting a Sakjas. What's this ship called? It's a Sajka. It's a unique Serbian light ship that trains the Sakjas sailors from him. So he's actually will be aging up with Uzun Mirko Apostolovic. Yep. Good cavalry politician. What does he provide? I think he provides some marauders if I recall. So, yeah, he'll have a bit of a defense when he reaches his base with the marauders. Now, if he'll have anything else to work with, I don't know. Fortunately, won't be able to train much until that, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Here comes the, yep, this is the Boyar, this is the, Minutemen unit. Just read that I didn't know that was in the... See, basically, instead of getting multiple emergency units, the nation states get like one emergency unit that gets stronger in each age, for each age if you wait to send them. So if you wait till like Imperial Age, he has like 66 attack, making him stronger than like strong as like a Highlander basically. Not counting the anti-siege and multipliers that it possesses. Right, so yeah, that. Will we get him in time? Yes, we will. We get some marauders. Yes. Oh, actually, Carbonires. Ooh, nice. Yeah. Even better, I think, in this case, because you can kite them off a bit. Now, for those who don't know, the Carbonire fires multiple shots, similar to the Carbine Cavalry in the Definitive Edition for the United States. So its range attack might look a little bleak to you, but that's just because it fires multiple shots. Similar to the Maharesti, which also fires multiple shots as well.
Commander?
Yeah, all I can really ship right now is like the Sagja ship, right? Yeah.
Da. Napad.
Yeah, I would try to shoot these infantry down with the Carbonires. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what you can do in this situation. You're sort of just left on the sidelines, wondering what to do with your shipment. Could ship in border patrolmen, which could be helpful to you, but not much else you can do beyond that, really. I don't use Carbonires a whole lot because I don't use maneuver a lot. Where I just spam more honor guards myself. But this is a fairly good maneuver unit, I think. I definitely like the fact that they fire multiple shots because that means that they can. I think in certain circumstances affect people's armor differently than normal. They can pierce through range armor a bit easier at times by hitting multiple times instead of just one time.
Sprayman.
Yeah, now he could actually. Yep, he's gonna use this ship in here. Lovely because it's an infinite ship, and so he can keep falling back on it as long as he has to in the match, right? If I know, yeah, I need to have a constant stream of skirmish units, I can use this infinite card to keep shipping those units, even if I don't even have a barracks, right? That's why when you're working on Latin American or nation state or even other Cids decks that have a lot of infinite shipments, always consider, right, what unit am I going to need to spam throughout the match at all times? Like, if I know I'm probably going to need a skirmish unit all the time, use this one. You know, it's just more effective for you and to your benefit to be able to have a supplemental army supply for yourself.
Da.
Because see here, he's able to engage a lot quicker before you even add the barracks up. And now we can hopefully at least get rid of this army here. Right? We might not be able to win the match this way, but at least he can get this army up. And then he's gonna, yep. Very nice. Very nice indeed. Look at that. Hopefully mopping that up. Yeah, this is the real nail in the coffin though, is the fish boom. Like, Fufi has so many fishing ships right now, he really doesn't even have to struggle for resources. Like, he's already even going up with Randy Cockbrain Smith, so he's gonna get some Aboriginal tractors, it looks like. I don't know why he's getting those, beats me, but I would have went with one of the Colonials to get the pom-pom gun, because the pom-pom gun is a pretty good machine gun.
Команда приемам.
He's just going full
Команда
for patrol at this point. Yeah,
приемам.
seems like it.
Разумео. Команда. Да!
Yep, just has to get these bush rangers to go home.
Команда.
Yeah, I mean, as long as he can surround the yeah, I mean, here's the thing, I find it pretty good to see Delaney at least winning some of these fights and, you know, fighting a little bit. You don't want to see people getting completely steamrolled, though. It's really sad, you know. It's good to see people have these little skirmishes and stuff and see back and forth fighting, even if they are going behind in the score. Oh, he's going to be using a shipment of German Diablos. Interesting. So this is going to send him 12 Gulens. With the rework of the Latin Americans, immigrant units changed a whole lot. In the old days, these would be a lot smaller in volume because they would represent mercenary units. Now that they're consulate units and they have more generic stats, devs had to increase the number of units that they deliver to make them worth the coin cost, giving them a coin cost. Then as you see here, they got another one here. 13 Tatamilians, so that's like 13 Spanish Lancers, Lanceros. Quite good. So he's going to go full with the Rum Corpsman. So these Rum Corpsmen, these are basically just renegados in terms of stats. So they got like 2 pop, but they do deal a lot more damage than traditional skirms. They don't even have the guard upgrade on them yet, so you'll see their attack really start to go up if he decides to get their guard upgrade. Now Serbs are getting the mountain artillery. Some people might think it always going to send heavy cannons and H3 at them. No, that's mountain artillery. So that's basically the culverin. It's a replacement for the Schneider Dangler gun that the Balkans used to have. Now that that model is currently being occupied by the steel gun for the Europeans. Yeah, looks like Serbs are basically dead to this point. They got Urans coming on the way, they got Rum Corpsmen, upgraded Minutemen, Militias rather. Yeah, I don't know what you can do to defend against that, honestly. I mean, it's like you're about spent at this point. Nice. Ooh, look at that. GG any second. Yep, GG. Good match. It was an interesting match. Yep, just had to let somebody know for another tournament I'm doing that I just have one car left to do, and then we should be ready to go. Oh wait a minute, whoops, didn't boot that up yet. Yep, just one more to go and I think we'll be done with all the matches. Close this one out. Alright, so we got 2 more matches to go. Let's see what we can get here from this encounter. Sebaslume versus Ivan. This should actually be a pretty interesting one because, there's, yeah, I mean, Sebaslume is like radically aggressive, but also, I don't know. Oh, yep, Ivan as always is starting out with the French. Sebas is always starting out with the Paraguayans. So yeah, pretty standard for both of them. I mean, it could go either way, honestly. Like, I think in principle Paraguay poses a lot of problems for the French. But if French can defend a bit, they got their own strong villagers, then I think the French just get the better units. They got the Cuirassiers, they got the Chausseur Cheval, they got the Zouaves. Really all the powerful things, really.
Preparado.
Should be interesting to see who comes on top here. Yep, so he's using the same deck he's used for all his other encounters, so the Infinite is probably going to be starting out with the Woodworks Wagon, and then moving on to the Resource Crates, and then, yeah. Yep, pretty standard Sebas Lume Paraguay build. Whereas the French, yeah, he has quite a few options here, so it should be interesting to see. I'm working these are the old ones, so probably be looking down at these ones. Yeah.
Oui.
Funny thing is Ivan is actually playing in the same Definitive Edition 3 tournament I'll be doing my match for today. So it'll be interesting seeing him play there as well. I mean, he definitely knows how to macro a little bit more effectively, I think, than most people do. Than the lower yellow players, he definitely knows how to macro well. And if you let him sit back and get what he wants, he can definitely spam a pretty decent sized army to attack you. Especially when these Sanchoites basically have a really good gather rate. And for those that don't know, this is really the same iconography they get in Definitive Edition for the French Revolt, French Napoleonic Revolt. It'll be interesting seeing what they age up with. If I'm predicting Sebas, I would say probably the Croats are going to be the choice of them. Could be wrong, but I think it'll probably be the Croats. Yeah, yep, he's got definitely build that. Croats, is it Croats? Yes, it is Croatians, yes, it is. There's French here. It's going to be again the Artisan, so a Quartermaster style. They're actually quite similar because Croats actually gives you the wood, just like the Quartermaster does. Just a little bit less of it to counteract the fact that you are again an immigrant town center on top of it. Now, in terms of strategy, what sort of strategy are we going to see from here? So it looks like Ivan could just FF into Zouaves or Falks and start pushing. That's definitely an option for him. Whereas the Sebas here, he'll probably try to play more of his standard build up my redoubts defensively and try to push out strategy with natives. Because I remember from our encounter, he actually went on to some of the natives like the Cree and the Wendats and started trying to incorporate them into his defenses. Wonder if he'll use the Mapuche or the Zapotecs here to do that as well.
See?
Yep, it all depends, I guess.
See?
Let's see from, Ivan what he has, shipping in some, line infantry. Sebastian's going for sort of a full build out of his base first with wood, followed by redoubt wagons. Redoubts being outposts. Looks like it's a pretty quick match though. I mean the bar is pretty far along right now, so what is it, like maybe a 20-minute match or something? Who knows? We'll see. Akayabotes, pretty good units. They're basically similar to the Lanceros, and they have a bit of anti-skirmish multiplier added to them. I mean, I would say in this situation, Ivan clearly has the advantage because, well, he's going to be dealing with line infantry. And line infantry actually count as both of the Paraguayan brass units, both being shock units, so both the Primero de Línea and the Gabotai as well. Yeah, see that right here? He's just gonna start shooting away at him. He could actually take up this redoubt right now, which would be pretty useful to him. Nice, nice. Nice. Yeah, nice. Very nice. Very good indeed. Oh, he's actually swapping in the Grenadiers, it looks like. Now, the Grenadiers have their own sort of perks in being able to deal with mass units, so if he, for whatever reason, got a large ball of units, the Grenadier would probably help a little bit more with that. And also keep in mind, French also get Royal Guard Grenadiers, the Grognards. So that's something else to look forward to as well. Nice. Very nice. Looks like these line infantry are really doing their job pretty good. Yeah, you back up a little bit because it's like they're starting to swarm up on you a bit, especially with the help of the Escopeteros. Gonna definitely try to retreat back a bit. Nice. I mean, he could technically start doubling up on his upgrades for those. So this one benefits partisans and volunteers, so this is for like the irregular units. Combat. Interesting. I'm surprised he's sending that right now, like, you'd think he'd send something that... Do they give a... I'm trying to remember, do they get any benefit that affects both Grenadiers and line infantry? Because that would probably be the thing I would send. If it was me. Okay. Get a grenade throw in why not? But, yeah, you just don't have the numbers right now with the spam. This is sort of a situation where Paraguay shines, right? And unfortunately for Paraguay, not all this is good. They can't do it for all this is, so you have to be careful in picking Paraguay. In this case, he seems to be doing well with them, so good for him. That free mass has definitely benefiting them well here. Getting those works up gradually as well. I think these artisanal guns are going to be what drives them forward on us, because these artisanal guns can pop off his infantry one by one effectively. Yeah, I mean, at this point it looks like, yeah, Paraguay clearly has the advantage here. Yep, pretty much. I mean, yeah, I think Paraguay reached the threshold that they need to win this. Probably, yeah. I mean, here's the thing, though. I mean, they're technically doing that. French still has the resources to keep doing stuff up. So he could definitely. Yep, he's gonna take out the artillery for free, basically, with these hussars, and then. Yeah, see, yeah, that's the thing, like, Ivan has been no way been dominated at all, because, he can still come back quite easily here, with both really good line units and also his very tanky scout units. Yeah, see, it's not over yet, man, it's not over yet. Ivan still has the better army, overall. I mean, what does he retreat? What's his sort of strategy in retreating? Yep, here comes the line infantry. Yep, take a shot. Yeah, I mean, yeah, Ivan's doing just fine right now. At least it seems like it anyway. I mean, why is he retreating though? Like, don't kite him, just get in the melee with him. You just cut down as many as you... I don't know why he's trying to kite them, honestly. He's not using skirmishers against musketeers. Like, what's the point of going for the range attack? I mean, he could probably clean that up a bit more cleanly, I think. At this point, I don't know, because, well... to give them sort of a gateway to sieging you now that you probably could have avoided. The thing about Paraguay is that spam just never ends. That's where they get real dangerous. You know, you're saying, oh, is this the last of his army? Is this the last of his army? No, it's not. He's just going to keep boosting more and more and more and more and more. And that's probably why they nerfed them and took away one of their barracks and stables in the building. You know, that constant barrage of free crap is gonna kill you. That barrage is gonna destroy you. It doesn't matter if you have, like, I don't know, these tanky hussars. Eventually that spam becomes so prevalent that even a unit with like a third of the HP is gonna give you problems. To mention this shot, you're like a fifth of the HP. Quarter or fifth. Yeah, I mean, look. The goal is to keep them from getting that spam going in the first place. That's the easiest thing you can do. Easiest thing you can do. Keep that spam from starting in the first place. Then from there you can work on other stuff to do to improve your game against them, like getting better units, getting more resources. But first thing you do is you just deny them the spam, right? Keep them in their base, keep their unit amount low, because as soon as they get to like 100, 200 free shock units with some skirmish and some artillery mixed in, some pardos mixed in, then you got a problem. That's when they can press you all the time. And once they do that, then you start to see your economy sort of dwindle away to rubbish, basically. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, yeah, at this point, let's look at the population, shall we? So yeah, 70 pop. That once it gets to that point, you kind of got to start thinking about what to do. Because clearly that mass is becoming an issue. It's becoming a real cancer, and you need to figure out how to deal with that. French wave is expected. Yeah, he could actually get some pretty powerful units here. He could actually start sending the Legionnaires from his immigrant town center. And that would kind of finish off, I think, Ivan at that point. Yeah, I think once you get those into play, there's really not much you can do. Kind of a goner at that point. Yeah, he's sieging. Definitely sieging him down pretty good. Yep, looky there, he's basically about dead at this point. Just about dead. Yeah, once Paraguay starts hitting about half the max pop, then you really need to be careful. Because if they can maintain that all the time, then other states' economies tend to usually crash with some. No, Ivan, he could actually FF and not FF, but he could rather just go capitulate, right? I think that's his plan right now. Just age up, get some, get the gunsmith going with some Charles Chevals. Oh, he's going for the cornet. The cornet gives us ours. Yeah, cornet's basically just a scout in terms of old politician lingo. What is he? Is he training anything yet? No. Yeah, I think this cookie has officially crumbled then. Yeah. I mean, he does have these web snippets up his sleeve though, and he could actually get cuirassiers and volunteers as well. Swedge would actually clean this up pretty easily, I think. Because he doesn't have any units or legionnaires yet. And the Swedge counts as assaults. So yeah, I think Swedge could actually be the thing that saves him here. Would be interesting to see him completely mop him up with an army of Swebs. Something worth looking to see. Yep, as I predicted, his webs are coming in. And he will have some hussars to protect him as well. Thanks to the timing, we'll definitely be able to get a second batch of his webs as well. Oh, he's going for the volunteers. I would have went for the assault unit.
Wait.
Yeah, I would have went for the assault unit myself. So he has it at an outpost over here. Oh, he actually moved it to his town center in time. That's good. He's not completely lost in his army yet. Still do something. Got a decent amount of range units to work with. Yeah, take out the Kahid rockets. Or not. Not, just back up and let those webs get some shots in. The good thing about these webs is, because they're an assault unit, they actually have some sort of hand armor against the trash units. So they can actually survive some blows to them, regardless of their warranted to like HP. And obviously in mass, they'll deal more damage to regular units. In terms of infantry, like Pardos, Escobateros, they just get really good against them. Now he could go for industrial actually, which is that worth it? Yeah, he could go get some steel guns and some factories and go for that. That's one option.
What?
It's really up to Ivan what he wants to do from there. Right, he's got a lot of different options. Army isn't quite dead yet. I mean, he's probably going to try to move around and do some raiding. I can imagine. Not that the Coiguas are really worth the thing to raid, really, because they gather kind of bad, anyways. Your biggest goal would actually be to start blowing up the works, I think, before you hit the Coiguas. Yeah, I think he's about realizing, yeah, that's all I can do anymore. He could probably afford to ship another group of webs as he waits to go to industrial age. One option. I just don't know what he's waiting for up here. Like, get some shots in while you can. Put this webs to work. Yeah, see, they're doing an alright job. I mean, if they don't get crashed up by the cohesive mess, then we should be alright. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's actually not bad for an assault unit. Yeah, decimating the 3 million is quite good. Oh yeah, he's gonna set. Is he gonna stab that cathedral to get the minimum? Yeah, he's about good. That's what I figured. So, last but not least, we got the final match to do. Okay, let's load that one up. I kind of wish they didn't have that bug for Wars League where you have to keep restarting the game again and again and again and again to, yeah, make things a lot more convenient, honestly. But unfortunately, you have to, else I'll really freeze and have to lose my recording. So this is the final countdown, final match. Hopefully it's one that you will all remember, hopefully. So this is the last one. This is going to be a British versus a Ottoman, so all vanilla civs.
Evet. Evet.
I mean, I'm fine with British being played because they're super new. They got lots of super new units, super new cards, nice marriages to showcase. Yeah, that's cool. But Ottomans, they feel like kind of a horrible choice of a civ because, well, their military is so weakened and so warped right now. Like, they literally don't get any veteran or guard upgrades, and they literally gotta wait till, yeah, Imperial Age, right, to even get any sort of upgrade on their units at all. Closest sort of mechanic to an upgrade they get is, what, the Janissary Combat card for the Ottomans, but that's a card. That should be an add-on. That shouldn't be a, you know, that shouldn't count as like a veteran upgrade. Obviously, they have the Nizam Sassids in Age 4, which sort of acts as like a Janissary replacement unit. Yeah, it's really messed up overall. I mean, I hope they really consider reworking the Ottomans real soon and giving them new stuff and setting up their mechanics, you know what I mean? Because right now it just seems like they're really, really in a weird spot. The only time they really feel like really strong is really in Age 2, where they're pretty much the same as you remember them. You know, Janissaries, Abbas Gunners. So for SARS, I do get a different hand cavalry now, the Delhi, which actually, the 5th edition adopted themselves as the Ottoman cavalry, right? Their hussars are gone. They use Delis now as well. Though over there they work a bit differently. Right, they're basically just hussars with a bit of an extra rate of fire and improved sword attack speed to make up for loss of HP, and it also moves faster. Whereas in here, the Delhi is actually statistically it seems like a bit stronger than the Atharas. At least to me, it seems like a bit of a compromise. And they get a lot better once you reach Imperial Age. Now, Ottomans, again, the artisan, so 400 wood. The British, what are British doing? They're so, yeah, you see, this is the problem with the British. Not having any villager shipments really puts them on the back burner. I mean, really the best thing you can do to catch up with British is, like, yeah, either the trickle cards, or you could use schooners to initiate a fish boom with a dock. But even that's not a given, you know what I mean? Yeah, my fishing ships are cheaper, but docks 200 wood, that's as much as a barracks, you know? British seem to do better the later they get in the game, basically. Like, once you get to a certain point in the match, really they can really call upon their many infinite unit shipments, like their infinite shipment for Highlanders. They get some good ones for the Household Blue, which is their Cuirassier equivalent, which is a lot stronger and can go stealthy with the Moonlit Charge. He didn't bring the Moonlit Charge probably for the sake of mercy for his opponent, but you know, if you want to put your Cuirassiers in the stealth at any point, like the Daisuke prowlers but tankier, then that's their option. Now what would he use? He will use the Princess of Denmark, the more experience XP point based option. She will give you XP crates and will provide you a golden age for every card that you receive. Yeah, basically. That's the benefit of the Danishes, those lovely golden ages.
Ready.
I kind of like the Danish Princess of the Habsburgs better because it turned you into the Norse, where your infantry could build barracks, stables, and artillery foundries. That just felt a little bit more fruitful for me. That's alright. I mean, it fits narrative better now, so I guess it works out. We're gonna have to see here, though, like what sort of unit strategy that he really have here. He has cherry bums. He has green jackets. He also has a counter to any sort of fish boom that the Ottomans might attempt. How likely would they be to do that with a deck like this? Not very likely, honestly. You know, but if you're playing on a war map like this, as you see in like Definitive Edition 3 games, it's always pretty much a good option to get a couple of, like a 2 white shipment, whether it's caravels or Avisos or corvettes, whatever they're called. Just get 2 white ships just to blow their fishing ships out of the water, even if you don't want to use fishing ships yourself, because it forces them to A, give up all that fish, right, and give you a lot of XP for killing those fishing ships, or B, you force them to build their own white ships to counter yours, and you mess up their game plan, basically. So now they might not be able to build a barracks, now they might not be able to age up on time. You set them back by a lot. We're going to be seeing some Janissary gameplay against mainly green jackets. So if he's going green jackets, it's going to be skirmisher versus line unit. But then again, Janissary's very tanky heavy infantry. You obviously don't adhere to the normal rules of heavy infantry, right? They're weaker in anti-cav, but in terms of just fighting other units, they seem to be a lot better at it. Place where their HP comes into play.
Yes. Commandment?
Yep, these are the,
Ready. I will. I mean so.
Oh, so they completely redid the,
Commandment?
did the voice line of these. I didn't quite recall that. I thought they used to use the same voice line as the Longbowmen did. Now they have the one of the larger Ranger, or just the Ranger if you're playing Definitive Edition. Well, it looks like here it's going to be a skirmisher versus musketeer match. Once somebody goes up to the next age. Hoo-hoo, now this is going to make things a bit interesting because he's going for the gunsmith. That is the same thing as the marksman. He will get about 4 abyss gunners, and from there he can ship 2 foot artilleries, which, for lack of a better term, are falconets, both in stats and in appearance.
Emryn?
With falconets, you could basically just wipe this out off to clean up the map. Don't really need anything else. I mean, what can he do? I mean, the only best chance he has to defend that would be to ship in his cherry bums now. And he is going to be training his own abyss gunners too. So, no, we're looking to see a strong capital H play from Sebas. And I don't think that all these fishing ships are going to make much of a difference if you're talking about artillery or abyss gunners against your units. Yeah, I mean, let's be frank, I don't think he's going to last very long once those falconets come out. It's kind of just biding time for himself now. Yeah, and he's making red coats too. Like, yeah, that's even worse. That's gonna die to the abyss gunners. That's not even good. I mean, this is why you need to scout all the time. You have to scout your opponents, even if you don't want to. You need to scout. If you see, yeah, I see abyss gunners, better get some cherry bums, right? I don't get grenadiers. You have to. Either that or you need to get to the next age. Because British also get the 2 foot artillery shipment as well that they can rely on. But you need to know how to adjust your timing to get up to that age. If you can't, then you find yourself behind in stats. As predicted, here comes the foot artillery. He's going to pull him in probably straight there, going into the red coats. Red coats are literally useless in this matchup, this fight. Get them out. Not to mention the fact you're shipping even more janissaries in, and probably shipping some delis right after that. Yeah, but man, you need to put them around here. It's that simple. Just press them. Unless you want to wait for some, I get it, some delis, a scout shock unit, because then you can at least snare them and you know that the kiting isn't going to be much of an issue. Yeah, I think he's just waiting to get some delis, I think, from the home city. And with resources like that, he could even train more foot artillery. Probably afford 2. 2 of them. Guarantee you that. Yeah. Why don't you get 2 foot artillery, you know? Seal the deal. Give him an offer he can't refuse, basically, you know? He's not going to be able to do much if you have 2 full falconets. Looks like you actually listen to me. You'll see it in the queue. Feeling pretty cocky, I would assume, if he thinks, yeah, I can get away with royal men to benefit my gold coin grabbing, right? Yeah, he's definitely feeling. Oh, now he's starting to get his mosque upgrades as well. The Nahiye. Funny how they still, even with the addition of religion, Armand still retained their whole set of mosque technologies. Who even ever came up with that concept of Armand's having free settlers? I don't know where that even came from. What was that even based on historically? Something to do with slavery or something? I don't quite know.
Evet.
Evet.
Well, in general, I mean, Yeah, Britta's great. You're getting stable now. He's actually going up the capital age as well, which is really nice. He's going to be going for the Infante de Portugal, which I would say in this situation is probably the more preferential one because, yeah, I could build a second town center now with that covered wagon. You might actually be able to defend a bit longer with another town center. Assuming the field foot artillery don't get to you first, though.
Yes.
Oh, he's going right. Is he going right with the cherry bums? No, not yet. Just so you know, cherry bums, they have their resources swapped. Right, they cost more coin than food. And they move faster, too. They had some of their HP removed in favor of speed.
Ready.
Looks like that fifth really is paying him off a bit, because, well, he's able to keep up a bit.
Commandment. Commandment.
Commandment. Ready.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it looks like he's... nope. He got around the gas there, which is good. But why is he maneuvering like that, though? Just control your units then. I get that the AI isn't the most perfect, but you have to definitely get very manual sometimes. Just force them to go split up and attack. Otherwise, yeah, you end up in a precarious spot. Household blues or foot artillery seems like the way to go.
Commandment.
Okay, let's see here.
Yes.
Foot artillery. Oh, household blues it is. Good. I like that unit. It's a good unit. I mean, I like the special fact that they get so many of them. It's quite useful to me, honestly, playing the British. Because even if I don't feel like I have the right resources, I can at least ship in infinite corsairs. As these shivs, which makes me feel like, yeah, I'm definitely in better shape. With the lack of village repairs, yeah, you definitely need something on your side.
Yes.
Yeah, these are the stats, by the way. They deal less splash damage than the Europe, the standard Corsair, but they're pretty tanky, right? And they deal quite a bit of damage as well in the area that it does manage to deal damage too. Yeah, basically, yeah. You're gonna get that one. Yeah, I got one more. Just got it. You almost had it too. Unfortunate. Well, it seems like the Ottomans are doing pretty well right now economically. I just don't completely know why you haven't gone to additional town zones yet though. Because, well, as Ottomans, it's really your job to get town centers as soon as you possibly can because they're gonna be providing you free gatherers, right? You're not paying for them. You don't need to fund up food for it. It's a free cost. Just 600 wood to maybe get like 20, 30 Templars apiece over the course of that match. Not including if you get raided and you have to recover. You know, then you're going to get even more value from them. Not to mention map control and defense. 700 food. Alright, he's probably going to be getting some more shock units, I can imagine. So more of the delis. No, he doesn't seem to like Spahi very much. I would have put some Spahi in there. I like that nice Spahi assault cavalry. Especially since it regenerates health when it's away from battle. Yeah, see, these are the stats of the Delhi. They're technically, statistically stronger than the Hussar. But, yeah. And he has even he doesn't even have cavalry combat. So, yeah, these are just generally tankier units. And then when you hit Imperial Age, you get their upgrade is like 85% stronger and 90% stronger. It's a lot bigger than the normal Imperial upgrade since they don't get Veteran or Guard upgrades.
Emrin.
Nope. I mean, I think the thing that's keeping Ivan alive this whole time is his fish booming has been really good. I mean, he even got rendering plant added to it, so yeah, I mean, this fish booming is the thing that's kept him breathing. If he wasn't fish booming right now, Ivan would have been a casualty a long time ago.
Commandment.
Just gonna see if, hey, if I can scout around, maybe raid a bit with these cherry bums. That'd be good. Yeah, most definitely.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, he does have this area exposed if he wanted to get some. Yeah, he is gonna take some, it looks like. Yeah, get one, man. Nice, you got 1, 2. Good. Alright. It's always nice to see when a raid is successful. I think he probably could have gone 3 or 4 if he did move his troops in certain ways, but that's alright. I mean, he only lost 1 cav for 2 dead settlers, so that's fair enough. Now he's going to have to engage with this now. Now, what is he going to do with the Scots Graves? Is he going to go into melee with them, or is he going to shoot them from afar? Now, the Scots Graves, as you see here, actually deal splash damage,
Ready.
making them one of the more unique Dragoon options. Because they use the same straight sword that Corsairs use, so magically they get splash attack now, and sword their specialty. Oh, there's one cherry bum though, he's doing some wonders. Yeah, well, he's gonna get that one down. I don't know if he can get that one down though. Yeah, I mean, get the cherry bum here, take this out, cut down the Abyss gunners, and then, but then you got the jelly problem though. Yeah. He also doesn't even have veteran cherry bums yet, which is kind of a drawback right now for him. Really should have thought about, yeah, again, veteran on my cherry bums, again, veteran on my red coats and on my green jackets. That way, upgrades wise, because here's the thing, the one thing Almonds don't get is unit upgrades, so if you can actually use your unit upgrades, you're using the one thing that the Almonds don't have, which is statistically relevant units per age, right? If you're sticking with these unupgraded units, you're sort of playing on even footing with the Almonds and what they're producing. You take the upgrades into consideration. Now, your units are statistically more advanced than his are until he hits the Imperial Age, which you know you'll never reach in a 1 versus 1. Unless you completely pulled back for like half an hour. Let them basically build what they want. Cavalry archers, okay. Note that Almonds do get to build them in Age 2 in Moore's Liberty, so that's definitely something they can look forward to. The idea was given to the Russians in the 5th edition, but they need a card to do it, it's not automatic. I'm actually surprised that the Cav archers even cost 2 pop anymore. I would think they would want to make them like a 1 pop unit so you could just spam millions of them. Not that it affects anyone anymore, it's really just what the Ottomans that get them now. It's basically an Ottoman unique unit now. I think that some of the Middle Eastern cities are going to get Cav archers, if I recall. Like the Kazakhs, the Kurds, the Uzbeks. Maybe, yeah. The Uyghurs, yeah, they're probably gonna get Cav Archers. So, looking forward to that if that does end up happening. Anyways, I mean, this was a really good stream. Compared to last week, didn't have any real interruptions at all. Everything went pretty smoothly. Hope everyone enjoyed the gameplays. I mean, if we're lucky, and everybody's been playing pretty diligently with their game times, we might actually even have a stream next week, who knows. It all depends on when the recordings come in. Anyways, thank you for showing up if you came to the live stream. If you didn't, that's fine. This is gonna be a video on demand for YouTube, and you can basically play it back as many times as you want. You know, see sort of the civs that they use, get to learn them a bit better. If there's any good strategies there, you can learn from them. If you say anything you don't want to do, don't do it. That's why I put them up on there for you. Basically to educate and inform just as much as it is to entertain. This is Unstoppable Streletsy, and see you next time. You'll probably see this tomorrow, Sunday morning at some point, since it's a pretty small stream. Right. Okay, bye.